Hey, what's up, Emma? What's up, Eno? Welcome, everyone. I am just starting up the Twitch stream as well here. It's good to see you guys. I'm actually looking forward to doing episode 3 here. We took a little bit of a break because of all the cool modded content that came out recently, right? But, yeah, this will be cool. We're actually, I think, like halfway through our steel list here. I kind of like these type of playthroughs that are a little bit shorter and have a different kind of game loop to them. We're just doing like a non-dungeon delving, playthrough. It's a nice vibe. Yeah, okay, so let's get Twitch started here as well. What's up, Cold Zero? How's it going? Welcome in. Looking forward to the Thief play? Yeah, this has been pretty fun. Pretty chill and cozy playthrough. I actually thought the same thing when I was doing this for the channel. I don't know how many of you guys were following me back then, but I was doing a really old Permadeath Thief playthrough on the channel. I think I only got to like episode 4. But I enjoyed it. It was fun for the time. I just kind of, yeah. Other stuff was coming out. I was doing a lot more mod showcases at the time, I think, and then I just kind of forgot to go back to it. And then so much time had passed, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I'll just pick it up from the beginning some other time. What's up, Steven? How's it going? Gotta run to the store. I ran out of tobacco, Coca-Cola. Nice. All good. I'll still be here in 20 for sure. Yeah, so it's been kind of cool to revisit the Thief playthrough. What I always liked about this one, even back then, was how non-dungeon delving focused it is, which is nice. It's like good variety from other types of playthroughs. I think pretty soon, next week, we got another cool mod coming out. I don't actually know for sure if it'll be next week, but I got my eyes on Vox's new mod, which is going to be a... it's going to be like a survival horror mod, which is interesting and something pretty new. I did see there was a new dynamic music mod that came out, which is cool too. What's up, Antimatsu? How's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, I saw there was another dynamic music mod as well. We were just talking about music mods the other day in the chat. So that's kind of cool. I haven't really played around with too many music mods still. I do have a list now, though, so at some point I will swap them out and test them out. But this one is Meridian 59. It looks like it released yesterday. There's also a new mod for cartography, which is kind of cool. I don't know if any of you guys checked that out yet. But it's like a usable atlas. It lets you zoom in really, really closely, which is kind of interesting. And it's also made from the same guy, the Real Lord Santa, who just came out with the Living World mod, which we checked out. Hey, I finally made it to a Shpan stream. What's up, Sling? Yeah, that one's pretty cool, too. Hey, Shpan just released a new version of my mod, which makes the NPCs camp out at night. Yo, what's up, Linebeck? That's awesome. Yeah, if you guys didn't know, we did showcase Linebeck's Wandering NPC mod, which is really nice. And looks like there's been an update. So now they'll camp out at night, which is sick. Yeah, Linebeck, we actually found a kind of interesting interaction with your mod with the new Long Road mod that came out. It's not really a mod interaction, I guess. It's more just like a funny situation. But if you make one of the craftable shelters with the Long Road mod, the wandering NPCs, if they collide with it, if their path collides with it, looks like they kind of get stuck on the wall. But it's actually an easy fix, because if you just leave the area, then they... I guess they disappear at some point. But, yeah, it was interesting. Definitely not like a huge deal or anything. I just thought I'd bring it to your attention in case you're curious about it. But yeah, it was kind of funny. We had some neighbors, nosy neighbors. I saw it on Nexus, but I haven't tried it. Yeah, it looks kind of interesting. I haven't tried it yet either. I probably will at some point. Meridian 59 is the MMO for the 80s, right? It sounds maybe familiar. I don't know if I've heard of it, though. It does seem like it's its own game because it has a... it has some like unique artwork that's not from Daggerfall, so I'm assuming it's probably from some old game. The artwork looks kind of cool, though, actually. I like it a lot. Kind of has like an EverQuest look a little bit to it. Yeah, this must have been some other game. I think you're right, Steven, because it says add selected tracks from Meridian 59 through dynamic music. Okay, so I think it needs another mod to function. Oh, and the talk option now brings up the default NPC talk menu. Oh, cool, Lineback. That's nice, yeah. Yeah, it's some nice updates. If you guys got wandering NPCs, definitely grab the update then. Which, we're going to have wandering NPCs on for this playthrough from now on, actually. We're not keeping on, what's it called? Living World? Is that what the other new mod was? I'm forgetting the name now already. Yeah, Living World is right. Yeah, we actually disabled that for now, just because there's so much added to it. I don't know if it's really necessary for my Thief playthrough. Yeah, we'll get started here soon. Give some more people a chance to jump into the stream. I'm starting a little bit early today. I don't know if you guys are excited about Gamescom at all, but Gamescom goes live in like 3 hours, I guess. Probably 2.5 hours for the intro show, or the pre-show, I think they call it. And maybe there could be some announcements that could be interesting for us. I added a chat option, yeah. Which still does, which still does the random pull from all flavor text sources, the same as what Old Talk did. Nice, gotcha. The NPCs also stick to whatever they tell you their profession is also. Oh, that's cool. So if you ask them multiple times, they say the same thing. Nice, yeah, that's some nice little touches for flavor and for consistency. I like that. Imagine an official Daggerfall remaster announcement for the 30th anniversary. That would be crazy, Emma. I don't know. How surprised would you guys be to see that? I'd be kind of surprised at Gamescom here, but in general, I feel like, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. I wouldn't be that surprised if there was some Daggerfall remaster. I do feel like it's a lot of work. I feel like it's a lot more work than something like Oblivion, but the Oblivion remastered kind of came out of nowhere too, right? And people really liked it. And I think it sold well. I feel like it sold well enough. But, of course, it's hard to tell. I mean, the work that would have to go into, like, a Daggerfall remaster would be so... I don't know. I'd be curious how Bethesda would want to handle that. Hey, guys, it's GameCon today. Yeah, Timatsu, I was just saying. That's kind of why I wanted to stream a little bit earlier today, actually. I'll be watching it for sure. Though, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I would be too excited about seeing today. Though there was, I don't know, maybe rumored, I guess, there was some talk of like a Game of Thrones tactics game, which, if done right, I could be somewhat interested in. I'd have to see how it looks and stuff. That could be cool. There are also some indie, games that could be interesting for me. The games I'm looking at, I don't know if any of them would have, like, a time slot on Gamescom, I feel like they're too indie even for that. But yeah, I don't know. I'll still be watching, of course. I always watch the shows, just out of curiosity. Not just proc-gen Unreal 5 environment and repaint the NPCs with Unreal would be less work than Oblivion. Gotcha, Steven. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's probably the route they would go. You're probably right, honestly. My stream was lagging. I fast-forwarded it. Oh, okay. It could be on my end. If anyone else is lagging, definitely let me know. I could check my frames and stuff here real quick. I think my Twitch is okay. as well, maybe. Let's see. It's fine for you? Okay. Yeah, I'll always type it in again if you guys want to follow me or watch me on Twitch as well. It's just Shpan_. And I guess I should probably get the Discord for you guys. If anyone wants to join the Discord, I'll grab that real quick and then we'll start. Let's see. I'm so bad at the Discord stuff. I'm still figuring this all out. Yeah, you can also follow the Discord if you want. Discord's pretty chill. We just hang out, talk about Daggerfall and other RPGs and stuff. And I'm always willing to help you guys out if you have any, you know, mod issues or some issue with Unity. You could always ask questions in there, in the general chat. And then also, I post, you know, announcements, of course, and stuff. Yo, what's up, Reinhard? Streaming early? Yeah, I think we're going to stream a little bit early today just because of the Gamescom stream today, Reinhard, starting in, like, I guess 3 hours or so. I kind of want to watch that today. Although I don't know if anything particularly interesting for me is actually going to be shown, but yeah, I kind of just want to watch it still. All right, for those that don't know, if you're new to the playthrough here, it's been a couple days since we continued on the Thief playthrough. This character is really meant to be pretty weak in combat, so we're really focusing on the Thief gameplay loop here. Mostly urban stuff. We're not really going to go into dungeons too much. We might not go into any dungeon in this playthrough, depending on the quests and stuff. And yeah, this character has a phobia to humanoids, which is more about like a fear of fighting them rather than a fear of humans. And this will make us a lot less likely to hit any humanoid enemy, which is kind of cool for a Thief playthrough because that includes things like guards, right? So if we do get caught, it's harder for us to fight our way out of situations. We got to run, skip town. A big part of the playthrough is trying to focus on keeping our like criminal reputation as low as we can, which is why I chose this area, because we got a bunch of borders, as you could see here. There's a couple different regions that are pretty easy to access, and if we become too criminal in one region, let's say we're wanted for criminal conspiracy, that means guards will try to catch us on sight. So we could always hop to another region if we need to. But yeah, the main goal of the playthrough is, let's pull up the steal list here real quick, is to complete the steal list. That's the goal. We got about half of it already, and we can get these from shops, pull them off of like any sort of location we see thanks to the Kleptomaniac mod. And the final thing on the bottom right is Berenzia's Crown. This is actually only going to be available to us at the very end of the Thieves Guild faction quests. So it's sort of like a capstone quest, you could think of it. And that's going to have us breaking into Wayrest Castle. And I guess actually that's technically going to be like a dungeon. So there is going to be at least one dungeon in this playthrough, because that's definitely going to function like a dungeon. But I've never tried this quest mod. This is from a quest mod. And it's kind of a cool concept to steal the crown from Berenzia. Because if you guys don't know, that's actually part of official Elder Scrolls lore, which I didn't know about. And yeah, so it's kind of a cool concept. The mod author took that like historical moment where the lore never tells you exactly who was the one that stole her crown, but someone did. And so, the quest maker was just thinking, let's have it be the player who did that. So cool concept. But yeah, that's our steal list. And right now, we're right outside of the initiation quest for the Thieves Guild. All right, I'll catch up on chat and then we'll get into it. The only problem is, does DFU expose enough of the world to make things like saving feasible? There would be so much work involved. It's unreal. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it's interesting. How many banks have you loan stolen from? Oh, no bank stealing in this playthrough, Emma. Yeah, we're not going to do any bank stealing or... and we actually have a skullduggery mod, which really helps us... or I guess it prevents us from really being able to steal a bunch of stuff at one time. So when we break into stores or residential buildings, there's constant stealth checks thanks to skullduggery. And every time I want to take something off a shelf, it checks my pickpocket skill, and I can fail that. And then you get the guards on you, of course. So, you know, in vanilla Daggerfall, it's pretty easy to just break in at night and clean out the entire store, which injects like thousands and thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of gold into the playthrough in one night. And I kind of like having like a full playthrough game loop of stealing stuff. So I like slowly building up the thief skills and, you know, having to work at that every night rather than injecting a ton of gold just immediately. But yeah, the bank loan theft is a classic one. Pickpocket the shelf, yeah, exactly. It's kind of cool actually because I always like the idea of mods that create like extra value for pretty niche skills, right? Like pickpocket is just not that good in Daggerfall, but if you redesign some stealth mechanics to make it so that this also checks your ability to take something off a shelf, or there's some like kind of narrative things like in the vampire overhaul mod where pickpocketing can be you know, used for other stuff. I really like when mods do that. Afternoon, yo, what's up, Kana? Welcome in. There's a mod that lets you pickpocket enemies. Yeah, there's also that. There's also a mod that lets you pickpocket pre-rendered NPCs, which is kind of cool. Not sure if it's part of SquidKamer. I don't know if it is either. SquidKamer does a ton of stuff. I actually don't know everything it does, especially because I use it in conjunction with Penwick Papers. And we also have the Mighty Kick here, which is cool. What's really cool about the Mighty Kick is that you could have your weapon drawn and still be kicking, which I like. And yeah, for Penwick Papers, we're only using the pickpocketing minigame, honestly. Some of the other stuff hasn't really been working for me with that mod. It actually never worked for me. But yeah, all right, let's get into it. So this is the initiation quest. I don't really know too much about it. A jolly voice says, "Welcome to my home." I'm going to put up my game volume a little bit here. All right, we're looking for something to steal here. All right, as you pick up the strapless dress, you hear the soft rustle of paper. A note is tucked inside the strapless dress. All right, looks like they want us to go to somewhere else here. The Ashley Farmstead. Where's that at? Once we get initiated into the Thieves Guild, then we can start really farming up the faction quests. Penwick Papers is clutch for my non-magic Altmer build. Nice. What's like the main build for that character? Altmer is always a nice one. It's nice to have that immunity to paralysis. All right, it was called like Ashley Farmstead. How far away is that? A little bit far, but not too bad. Let me just begin it so I can turn it off here. I think we do want to rest here, though. Let's get our stamina back up so we don't have to rest too much on the road. She's a burly Warhammer user? Nice, because I kind of suck at the magic systems. Gotcha. I kind of prefer martial builds myself in this game. It's specifically like a Daggerfall thing for me. It's one of the few things in Daggerfall I don't love, actually, is the magic system. Although there's ways with mods to make it more my style. But yeah, the one issue I have with magic is it just there's just so many utility spells that are so cheap that make a lot of the resource management stuff a lot less important in the playthrough. You know, what I like about the potion system in this game compared to a lot of other RPGs is that potions, they're both expensive, they're pretty rare to find, and so because of that, they feel like an actual resource. And that's something I usually don't love about other RPGs. Not all of them, of course, but oh, we got a nice little... Is this sunset or sunrise? This is sunset. Looks nice. But yeah, a lot of other RPGs will have you chugging 40 potions in a single encounter or something, you know? In Daggerfall, it feels like a real resource, but the magic system with all of its great utility options that get very cheap very quickly, yeah, there's not too much like resource management usually. But yeah, if you get the right mods, you can still definitely make that like a reality. You just have to sort of redesign the magic system a little bit, and some mods do that for sure. It's too tempting to create a spell that does a large fireball explosion that simultaneously regens your magic up. You have the right advantage. Yeah, for sure, Emma. The general spell absorption stuff is really, really strong in this game. Probably a lot stronger than they were intending. Riding off into the sunset? Yeah, we're out of here. This is kind of far. I got Warm Ashes back on, so we'll have some encounters here. But yeah, I know I mentioned this a lot, but this is one of the things I love about Daggerfall traveling is the fact that the like sky system, the way that time passes in Daggerfall, you could just so easily see it all happening in real time. The sun setting, the sky box like shifting. And when you got a mod like Dynamic Skies on, it's extremely pretty. It's so well complemented by the fact that you're not always fighting, you know? When I play some other games that have either open worlds or like a semi-open world, like something like Dragon's Dogma comes to mind. That's a game I like a lot, but you know, every 15 steps you got another encounter with wolves or lizards or something. And I just love how in Daggerfall you can go 10 minutes and just, you know, enjoy the world, the heavy atmosphere, the isolating feelings of being in this world. And that's really well complemented by the fact that traveling is just a massive journey in this game. It's a process. Wolves, hunts, and packs, exactly, Emma. Man, I really do like Dragon's Dogma, though. Even though I was kind of criticizing it there. But it's a fun game. I like how they decided to write in that kind of like old English style, too. The writers must have had a lot of fun with that game. Final Fantasy 3 was so bad for encounter rate, I swear. Yeah. Yeah, some of the older JRPGs are really intense. I don't know if you guys played... Wait, I actually want to check the name of this game real quick. I just started playing it this year. I can't remember the name, but it's in my list here. Let's see if I can find it. Actually, I think this isn't even a JRPG. It's a Western RPG that was inspired by JRPGs. Septerra Core. I don't know if you guys know that game. But wow, the encounter rate in that game. It's not even random encounters. They're just all over the map. And the combat's so slow. But otherwise, it was pretty fun. Shpan, if you like Dragon's Dogma, give Crimson Desert a try. Yeah, I plan to give Crimson Desert a try for sure. I've played a little bit of Black Desert. That's their MMO. Which I thought was pretty fun combat. Though I don't really play MMOs too much. Let's make sure I'm actually going to the right place. Ashley's Farm. We're looking for Yumfield. Yumfield is a name I see come up in Daggerfall all the time. I don't know about you guys. I recommend the DS remake for Final Fantasy 3. It's hard, but honestly, such experiencing the world in that new format. That's cool. Isn't it? Wasn't it also kind of remastered in oh, what were those games called? There was like a series, maybe Pixel Remaster. Did Final Fantasy 3 get one for that too? Yeah, Crimson Desert's cool. What's also cool about Crimson Desert to me, Antimatsu, is I like how it's getting some mod support, and it kind of feels a little bit like a sandbox RPG in some ways. I know it's not exactly that, but we're lagging here. This might be a Warm Ashes encounter or something worse. This is pretty laggy. But yeah, I think that's kind of cool. That it's kind of sandboxy in that way. I know the narrative is really not the main focus. And of course, it's a beautiful looking game. I really probably would need a PC upgrade before I played Crimson Desert. Yeah, back. Did you steal the dress for the Thieves Guild? Yes, Cold Zero. We're on our way now. We actually, when we picked up the dress, it gave us another note here to go to somewhere else. So I think we're still in the initiation for the Thieves Guild here. But once we finish this, we'll really be farming out the Thieves Guild quests, get some reputation quickly. What's cool about the Thieves Guild in Daggerfall is I think it's the only, it might be the only faction in the game where the quests don't actually take you to any dungeons. I think there's not a single quest from the Thieves Guild that takes you into dungeons. It's all like urban stealing and some other stuff like that. I think that's kind of cool. That's a nice touch by them. Yeah, Pixel Remasters? Gotcha. Yeah, it's on Steam. Yeah. I wish Crimson Desert had a character creator. Yeah, me too, Emma. That would be cool. I think you can play as like 3 different characters in total. But yeah, like a proper character creator would be amazing. Oh, let's walk. Yeah, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I also posted my animated water settings on the Discord, if you're curious, in the info page. Someone was asking for it in the last stream, and yeah, I found my old settings. I really like how this animated water setting looks. The way the lantern light also moves with the waves. Like, this is such a vibe at night. Also, one of my favorite Daggerfall songs here. Just curious what your PC spec is like. It's like a 3050, NVIDIA 3050 something. It's honestly pretty weak. It works for Daggerfall, of course, but yeah, it's not great. I do have like an i7 though, which is kind of nice, I guess. Yeah, I'm not well versed with like PC stuff. Oh, we got orcs invading. I don't think we're equipped to deal with this. I feel bad for these farm people, but I think like one clean shot from an Ogre Magi is gonna like chunk me for like 70% of my life. The Ogre Magi are like extremely strong. I think, if I remember correctly, they're not even from vanilla, right? They're from Daggerfall enemy expansion, but they always show up in these raids, honestly. I don't want to reopen our old cartoon discussion, but Riding to the Sunset reminded me of Lucky Luke. Oh, yeah, I don't know what Lucky Luke is, actually. Is that my first time hearing that name? Old cartoon discussion. Yeah, I'm not sure. Did I learn my lesson last time with these bandit camps here? Also, is it too dark for you guys with this with my settings? I actually changed a little bit of the nighttime lighting settings. I don't know if this is like a cool vibe for you guys or if it's too dark to see. Lucky Luke. Have you heard the Cliff Racer song? I don't know. Cliff Racer song? I don't think so. Daggerfall Campfire Night and Rest Traveler video and some candles. He goes, best vibe? Yeah, for sure, Sling. It's such a nice vibe. It's one of my favorite parts about Daggerfall. Is the traveling, is the nighttime vibe. Yeah, I think we're getting hit from both sides, from the orcs. And I think we learned our lesson from last time. Let's not mess with too many of these bandit camps. Yo, what's up, NGC? And what's up, Vox? Welcome, both of you guys. Hope you're both doing well. Yeah, we're finishing up the initiation quest for the Thieves Guild right now. This character's kind of weak, so we tend to try to avoid combat when we can. It's a French comic. He's a cowboy faster than his shadow. Oh, cool. I'm getting like a weird Cowboy Bebop vibe from it. Or maybe like a Lupin gentleman thief. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at how weak I made this character. I kind of underestimated, and I always tend to underestimate just how strong phobia is as a disadvantage. This will make it like it's super hard to hit things, even with I have the expertise to counteract it a little bit, some little counterbalance, and then also low tolerance to fire. I thought would be funny because like if I get hit by like an Ogre Magi with this low tolerance to fire, yeah, it's gonna be hilarious. Take like 70% of our life or something, and we'll have like no chance to resist it. Yeah, otherwise we're just restricted from all magic too. And I thought athleticism was cool for a thief, of course. I want to start a new playthrough with one of the default classes. I would just make my own characters. Yeah, Linebeck, it's fun. Spell Sword's pretty strong. I guess it kind of depends if you want to go specifically for like a role-playing idea or if you care about the class's strength. Spell Sword's a pretty decent one. Ranger's a decent one. So is the Knight. What else is okay? Weirdly enough, the Burglar is really not too bad. The Burglar can use plate armor, weirdly enough. More of a challenge? Yeah, it's definitely more of a challenge. The one issue with a lot of the pre-made classes you'll find is that they have very low max HP per level. And this is really one of the... strangely enough, in Daggerfall, it's one of the strongest stats is health points. Usually if you can survive, you can run away, you know? Where you'll have some classes, some pre-made classes in Daggerfall have like, actually have between 6 and 8 max HP per level, which is just so low. Even at like level 8 or 9 or 10, you'll be really squishy with a rate like that, especially if you get some bad rolls. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Usually when you make your own custom class, people will, what's it called? They'll have anywhere from like 15 to 30, you know, max HP per level. Oh, we're super close to this town. But yeah, it is fun though, because what's cool about the pre-made classes is they have, you know, they're really focused on... Oh man, this orc is following me still. They're really focused on like capturing a role-playing concept, of course. That's what Bethesda was going for, I think. And so because of that, their restrictions are kind of fun. And something else you'll notice is that a lot of them just like have pretty bad skill selections, of course. Who's shooting lightning at me? Are those ogre magi? Yeah. Oh, this is so dangerous for us. The one good thing is they'll often kill their own orcs here. Oh, that's so creepy with the lantern going out with these guys chasing me. What's fun about this beef playthrough for me, though, is I really do feel squishy. Like, encounters actually worry me, which is kind of fun. Did I just hear those cows moo? That's like the first time I've heard that. All right, I think this is where we want to go. We're safe in here, at least. Let's read our letter again. We're looking for something Yomfield. That might be her. Yeah, why would I help a complete stranger, especially one with my reputation? Oh, man. My legal rep is not the best here. This is who I'm looking for, I could already tell. This guy's just hanging out here. Other initiates. Sometimes I wonder if the guild can hold them all. I can see they sent you after... Oh, I'm about to sneeze. One sec, guys. All right, I think the sneeze passed. I wonder if the guild can hold them all. I see that they sent you after a mage's strapless dress. It's a popular choice of late. You are now a member of the Thieves Guild. All right, now I think we can start doing some of the quest lines here. We do want to get them done because the capstone quest is like the main part of the playthrough. I don't know how long it's going to take. It's 5 rep per quest, but the Thieves Guild quests don't really have you going into dungeons, so they're faster than other factions. Have you ever thought about or played the game with retro mode on? I play with it permanently with the HUD mod. Yeah, I've tried it, Lineback. I think it looks really good. The thing is, I just played so many hours with the default settings when I first started that it's so, I don't know, it's so familiar and comfy for me that I still kind of just end up preferring the sort of default mode for Unity. But yeah, I thought retro mode looks really good. And I like how retro mode has all those post-processing options, which is really cool. I think if I had a CRT, that would be really sick, and I'd try that out more. Claims you're a complete stranger, challenges you for your reputation, yeah. Whenever you enter a town, you will know if there are any guild buildings there. Unfortunately, guild rules say I have to pay you for this worthless piece of trash because you stole it in the service of the guild. Here's a gold piece. Nice. Working our way up. Oh, I almost forgot. You are also entitled to a dungeon map. Here, let me show you where the Fortress of Hursley is on yours. Oh, it's interesting. I didn't realize that when you join the guild, you got a dungeon map. It's been a while since I've done this. That's kind of a cool little reward. That must be for this region, I'm sure. We'll take our 1 gold piece here. All right. All right, now we're going to head back to a city. This is cool for us. We could actually get started here. We got to watch out for these orcs if they're still around. Oh, yeah, they're coming for me. He said I didn't want to pay you 1 gold coin. Yeah, for real. I'm actually really excited to show you guys the Thieves Guild too, because I don't know how many of you use the Thieves Guild overhaul mod, but it's really, really cool. Shaded glass is great for a CRT filter, free and open source too. Interesting. Oh, that's cool. I've never heard of that, Lineback. Yeah, the Thieves Guild overhaul. I'm trying to think. It might be a Rouser mod. I'm not sure, actually. I might have that wrong, but I think it's Rouser. That sounds right to me. Yeah, it's really cool. He also redesigned the exterior like city block for it. So it's not just the interior, the whole exterior looks different. So it's kind of cool. All right, let's get to any city now. So this one's close. This one's really close. That's cool. Oh yeah, we'll be there in a second. Nice. What's the most absurd mod you've ever found for Daggerfall? Oh, man. There's a good amount of meme ones. There's one that gives you a new head for the Nords, and it's just Todd Howard's head. Actually looks pretty good, honestly, too. I think I even have it still on my... I think I used it for like one video as a little joke thing a long time ago. Maybe some of you guys remember. Yeah, there's a couple maybe ones like that. For really absurd stuff, though, there's also that mod that adds... Oh, man. It's absurd, but it's absurd in a good way. It adds, like, an obscene amount of enemies. I can't think of the name of this mod, though. It's kind of popular, too, I feel like. It's fun and kind of funny. But we're talking about, like, maybe 50 times the enemy density. So it's just, like, a massive, insane... amount of enemies on screen. It's really for people that have like really strong magic builds, of course, and you can just like nuke the whole screen and stuff. Probably the Daggerfall mod pack. Yeah, I've seen those going around. They're pretty popular, I think. There was also another one that had some kind of like cannon thing. I'm trying to think of what that was too. Oh, I kind of want to find that mod again. There's probably some really obscure, crazy ones, though, that I don't know about. I think the one that's still astonishing to me is the one where it gives you actual guns from Terminator Future Shock game. Yeah, Reinhardt, I think you mentioned that. I've not seen that mod. And someone was just asking, actually. Someone recently. Wow, sounds like someone's walking in here. That was kind of weird. Oh, Belwyn. We've been finding her a lot more often. It's actually pretty rare, like the chances of her showing up. But yeah, someone was just asking like if they could get like flintlock weapons in Daggerfall, but that Terminator gun might be the closest thing. All right, so we got to rest here just until we get our stamina up. Let's do that, and then we'll check out the Thieves Guild. I'm excited to show you guys. What's always really fun about some of these playthroughs is that I like how I can also show you guys some of the mods, because the mod showcase stuff is cool. I know you guys like seeing that. So the Let's Plays also have an opportunity to do that. Oh, that's kind of cool. The ladder fell. Let's just check what's up here. I climbed through the... Alright, just some boxes. I can't steal that anyway. Alright, let's go until we're healed. Alright, we're not going to do anything with Belwyn for this playthrough. We really don't need a companion. Oh, actually, it's still a little bit too early. The vampire sounds are funny. Yeah, Belwyn is still flagged as an enemy, so... If she comes into your tavern, you have to get some distance from her. Let's just do like 4 more hours. Oh yeah, I always forget. When you're resting, it also changes your position, which is why we're getting woken up early. Yeah. Yeah, I'm never going to take this mod out of my mod list, though, because... it's been taken down, and so I like having it, because I think it's a cool mod. It's just... It's not something I always want in all my playthroughs, you know? And weirdly enough, I don't know if I can deactivate it, because I think it's like a quest pack mod, so I don't think it even comes up in a settings thing. Vampire and werewolves are quite terrifying in the Elder Scrolls. You never know when you'll get infected or something. Yeah, Reinhardt, for sure. It just happened to one of my other viewers the other day. They were mentioning it. Let's do a quick save here. This area is kind of laggy for me as well. All right, so anytime there's a Thieves Guild... Does this place not have a Thieves Guild? That's crazy. We actually went to a city without a Thieves Guild, I think. Huh. We're gonna have to travel somewhere else then. That is interesting. Wow, this is like a big city too. This one's pretty close. Did I come from there? I'm trying to think if I came from... It doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's also check the quest log here for a second. Yeah, so it's already done. We're definitely part of the Thieves Guild now, which is good. Yeah, by the way, guys, I don't know if you know about a mod called Dagger Stats. I haven't really heard anyone talk about it recently, but this is a really cool mod. I really highly recommend this one. Once you go into your status page here, the default thing is X. And then you can take a look at all of this kind of stuff that it records about your playthrough for each character. So we got one Thieves Guild quest completed. Some of your like combat stuff, you know, it breaks down each enemy group, which is really cool. Could you just archive the mod outside of your game and install it when you want to use it? Yeah, I definitely could. GP3. And what's up? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it's really not a bad idea. I should just copy and paste it, honestly. Have like some kind of backup folder, you know. Because there's a couple other quest mod packs I should do that with as well. Although I think the other ones tend to have like actual mod settings in Unity, like the Black Courier as well. Doesn't disease immunity protect from vampirism and lycanthropy? Yeah, it should, Alex, yeah. Yeah, they're both counted as diseases, and they're really low chances, honestly. They're like... Unless you have some kind of vulnerability disadvantage, I think it's like around 1%. So it's pretty low chance. But yeah, breaks down each enemy group as well, you know? Like we killed one lycanthrope, 29 humans, your favorite weapon, what you use the most. It's kind of cool. And I like how the mod author, you know, used some kind of cool language here, like Harpies hushed, Daedra de-escalated. And of course your magic stuff, your crime. I got 4 breaking and entering, 3 criminal conspiracies. Oh man, my character's not doing too hot on that. 1 murder. Who did I murder? Oh yeah, I did accidentally murder someone with the explosive arrow. Oh man. I gotta be careful with the murders, or the Dark Brotherhood might catch on to me. And then 1 theft. It's really cool mod, yeah. I don't know if it's been updated in a while, but it really doesn't need to be, you know? And of course, I like having the time pass. That's cool too. All right, I think I showed that off enough here. Looks nifty? Yeah, it's really cool. I don't really hear people talk about it too much. All right, this is 4 hours, man. Okay. We may do a little fast traveling as well, depending on how long the playthrough's taken us to do stuff. Oh, we got some inland water here. This will be cool. Yeah, this character's actually resistant to both poison and disease. And I chose that for her because she's a wood elf, and I know the later titles kind of added that to wood elves, but Daggerfall didn't have that starting out. I think all wood elves get in Daggerfall is the increased chance to hit with bows, which is actually a pretty good passive, all things considered. Because some races get some pretty bad stuff. The Nords just get like a little extra resistance to cold, and you rarely see cold in this game. Like very few enemies have cold spells. Argonians just get a little extra underwater breathing, which is pretty bad. Khajiit just climb a little better. Yeah, the passives were kind of weak in this game. With the best probably being Redguard and Dark Elves. Yeah, I love seeing some inland water like this. Now we got animated water working again, because I took out Iliac Puddle no more for now, just to help me with my lag a little bit. Any kind of water-focused playthrough, I love that mod for that, but yeah. As you can see also, I think there is a bridge in the middle of here. This is one of those, like, it's not like one of those bridges that come from, I guess, World of Daggerfall project. I don't even know. Maybe it comes from basic roads. But it kind of moves with the water, so it looks kind of funny. I think that's what's there. I might be missing that. Yeah, I might be missing that. Actually, we could probably check on the map here. I am kind of close to a road. It could be. We'll check on the other side so that we're not swimming for 10 minutes. I might turn the music down a little bit here too as well. But yeah, if we real-time travel to all these locations, this playthrough will probably be kind of long still. Just because I imagine most of these guild quests are going to be taking me to somewhat far locations in the region. Yeah, oh yeah, you can see here. This is a bridge here. But it looks kind of funny with animated water. Actually, this one's cool. This one's fixed. It actually doesn't sway with the water. Yeah, this is cool. But there actually are some bridges that are like properly built bridges. They have, you know, like handles on the side and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, these are functional. And I don't know if they're from Basic Roads or World of Daggerfall project, but I'm lagging again. It still does kind of move the sides, you can see. Although it's not moving this side, it's kind of interesting. And where are we going again? We're going to this tower here. An unfamiliar form bobbing atop the waves, a flock of bats. That's pretty doable for us. Could be a good opportunity to get some skill up. We'll try one explosive arrow here, see if we can kill them both. Nice. That's efficient. I got so much stuff I gotta sell as well here. I gotta remember that in the next town. 2 bats with 1 arrow. Yeah, that is pretty clean. The explosive arrow is actually a lot stronger than I thought it'd be. I got a few of the special arrows to start this playthrough for fun. Just so we had some options to play around with. But they're actually really strong. I also didn't know that these... Oh, this is cool. We got a little farm here. I also didn't know that the... like special effect arrows kind of bypass the material immunities that some enemies have, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, if you guys don't have harvestable crops, this is a fun one. You'll sometimes get... Oh, we got 2 root bulbs there. But yeah, you can actually steal the crops from farmers with this mod. Which is kind of nice. I always like the idea of adding a few small ways to have some different options for doing stuff. You know, if you're someone that's trying to care about, like, alchemy potions. Wow, what is this guy? Is this an Argonian? I guess so. I think this is from the NPC Flats mod. Though I thought I had that disabled for a long time ago, but that's interesting. But yeah, if you're someone that cares about, like, potion crafting in a playthrough, this is another way to potentially get ingredients, which I always like when mods add some different activities to do that kind of stuff. You don't just have to farm a dungeon or something. So most of the time you'll get nothing, but that's kind of cool. And then I'm stealing this entire farm here. Occasionally, though, you'll get a message like the farmer does not want you to take their stuff. But yeah, that's actually pretty good. We got a bunch of random stuff here. I also got to keep an eye on for... Let me look at the list again one more time. I'm trying to remember what we need. We need a diamond, a jade, a pearl, a ruby, a holy water. Yeah, holy water is sometimes outside in cities, so I can look for that one. And icons also. It's good you aren't always rewarded with ingredients each time. Yeah, exactly. I think so for sure. And it's also kind of cool because it's tied into these farms. During the winter months, you won't actually see like any crops that could be harvested, which is kind of cool. I did clean out the whole farm though. All right, let's keep going. The bargain shoppers of the known world are out in full force today. Is a little wonder, for the 10th of Sun's Height is a holiday called the Merchants' Festival. Every marketplace and equipment store has dropped their prices to at least half. Yeah, so this is really cool. And Daggerfall has all these built-in holidays. And so when we're at this place here, we'll get half off on some of the equipment stores and every marketplace. But when I first saw this when I was playing, I actually thought it was from some kind of mod. I thought it was like from Beautiful Cities of Daggerfall or something, but actually no, this was built into the vanilla Daggerfall experience. The only shop not being patronized today is the Mages Guild, where prices are as exorbitant as always, or as usual. Most citizens in need of a magical item are waiting 2 months for the celebration of Tales and Talos, when prices will be more reasonable. And I really like how this is worded, you know? So you know in 2 more months there'll be a holiday for a Mages Guild thing. It's very cool. But yeah, I always assumed that was from a mod when I first saw that. And this looks like a... okay, this is like a little extra outside shrine here. Where am I? Shrine of Mai. Oh my god. I see what you did there. Yeah, by the way, guys, also, these, like, weekday streams, I'm going to be testing some different starting times like this. I think earlier like this is sometimes better for the European crowd. And later might be better for, like, West Coast NA. So... yeah, I'll be experimenting a little bit on the weekday streams. For the weekends, though, we're definitely keeping the 12 p.m. Eastern time slot. That seems really good for you guys. And it's perfect for me, personally, as well. But yeah, maybe tomorrow we'll do, like, a nighttime stream. I haven't really done one that's late. I guess the latest I went was, like, 6 once. I also might not even wait for the Druid playthrough to clean up the mod list, just because the lag is getting a little bit worse. Something I like to recommend if you do have this type of lag like I do right now. For me, it's partially because my mod list is crazy right now. But, oh, actually, I also want to test this real quick. Can Kleptomania mod grab flowers like this? I don't think so, right? Nah, okay. Yeah, something you could try if you're lagging like I am a little bit is to reduce your distant terrain in the Unity settings. If you go down to like 2-ish, it might help you with travel options lag. We'll do a little drive-by harvesting here. All right. This is a really cool type of encounter thing here, too. This looks like a town, but it's actually not a town. So as you can see, this isn't on the map. This isn't a location you could fast travel to. It's actually just a decorative piece that's part of the World of Daggerfall project. So this is some iteration of their points of interest. And it comes with these NPCs here. But as you can see, you actually can't enter these buildings. They're not real buildings with interior cells. And even though this is a windmill that you normally can enter, like in a city or something like that, this also is not an interior cell. So it's just like a decorative piece here that's cool. Helps fill out the world a little bit by having these rural, you know, isolated farms. But yeah, you can't fast travel these like you would other small farms. It's kind of interesting. It's also kind of interesting. Oh, we got enemies nearby. What do we got here? They might be in the water. Oh, it's an orc. Okay. I feel like one orc we could maybe take on. It's a little risky. I think orcs are one of those enemies that have like a 5% chance to have poison, which is a little risky. We'll keep it ranged here. Yeah. It's actually one of my first characters that is really kind of focusing on archery. And archery is strong in this game. I didn't realize. I very rarely play archers. Also got to watch our stamina a little bit here. Hi, Emma. You're on point today. Yeah, Warm Ashes also makes the, like, see this little bird flying away from me when I got close? Warm Ashes adds that stuff, as well as some of this wildlife stuff, like this cute-looking cow here with the emo haircut. But yeah, Warm Ashes is really cool. It's not just encounters like that. It's a couple other decorative stuff that adds a little extra life to the world. But yeah, if you're a fan of like the sailing stuff, then Warm Ashes is a must. We're super close, but I don't want to rest outside. Okay, we're actually right here. Perfect. Oh, I just accidentally pressed the load button. That's so sad. Where was the last time we saved? All right. We're close. It's okay. Crisis avoided. Yeah, I got that on my F11 key, and I have F10 for the bringing up like that old school UI you saw there, so I tried to repress it. But yeah, okay, we were good. We saved right by. Yeah, F9 is my quick save, F10 is my like old UI thing, and then F11's my quick load. I probably should change that, honestly. Any person from the Fighters Guild will be persecuted to the full extent of the law. Yeah, I really like this about Daggerfall too. Sometimes you'll see these, and sometimes it'll be about a faction like the Fighters Guild. This is a pretty broad faction. Usually it's not like that. And yeah, if you're part of these groups, you could get in trouble in some of these towns. And there's some mods that play off that, actually. Including Doom Feud does, right? I haven't used that mod in a while, but I'm pretty sure it does. All right, we definitely got to rest. We're running out of stamina here. This one's also not showing the Thieves Guild. That seems like an issue, like a potential bug, actually. I'm going to do a quick look around this city. I know what the exterior cell should look like for the Thieves Guild. And if we can't see it here, we're going to do a little fast traveling to see if the other cities have it, or if I got an issue with my mod, potentially. Don't forget to sell your items too. Oh yeah, good call, Emma. Yeah, for sure. We got to also sell our items here. We got a huge wagon right now. And we gotta wait till the next day. I've been playing with archery lately as well, paired with Jackman Nimble, Arrow Variety, and Killer Instincts at very high reflexes. It can feel like a boomer shooter. That's awesome, Katz. Yeah, it's pretty intense. Yeah, I didn't realize archery was so strong, actually. Maybe it's partly because I'm playing a Bosmer. And I guess they get like an extra bonus, right? But yeah, it feels good. I actually like archery a lot right now. And I actually tried it out for the first time when I was doing the... Well, I guess not the first time, but it was the first time I was really had some like extended time with it. With the roguelike mod, actually. Alright, let's do like 5 more hours. But yeah, that's kind of sick. You should grab those mods that increase like enemy density. I forgot what it's called. Maybe grab Doom feuds with that, Katz. Have like a massive brawl. Has your game started running better since the other stream? What's up, Mr. Samuel Adam? Yeah, I'd say a little bit. My mod list, I still haven't done like a proper cleaning of it, which I have to do before the Druid playthrough. But because so many like sick mods are coming out, I really can't like commit to a single mod list right now for the Druid playthrough, so I haven't really gone through it. But I really have to do it soon though, so I can get that series started. It's been a while now. But I'd say, yeah, it's not running too poorly, though. I could always lower the terrain distance if I really wanted to. At least for the wilderness traveling, that would help me a bit. I do have an issue where some towns will feel extra laggy. This one doesn't right now. This one feels fine for me. But I have noticed sometimes. It could also be W11 if you're on that, Windows 11. I've seen updates screwing up my friend's performance. I helped with him. Gotcha. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Yeah, I'm not sure, actually. It's been okay, though. Yo, what's up, Shirley? Welcome to the stream. Over on Twitch. How's it going? All the games I play are getting so crazy with their mods. Hard to decide what to play. Yeah, Van, I'm feeling that a lot as well. I'm actually, you know, Van, you reminded me. I was going to tell the stream later, like in the week. But I just reinstalled Morrowind with OpenMW. And I'm thinking about doing like a real playthrough very soon. But I'm getting so like distracted with Daggerfall stuff. But I'm so tempted to just, I don't know. I think it could be really fun this weekend just to fire up like a proper Morrowind episode 1. We just go for it. Let's sell all this stuff, basically. It just released on GOG. That's crazy. Yeah, I just got it from the site. That's cool, though. Yeah, we got so much stuff here. And travel options, there's an option to turn off grass while traveling, too. Oh, is there, Emma? I don't know if I've ever tried doing that, if that would help me out. I probably didn't know that and didn't realize for a while that was an option. That's how I feel about all the games I mod. There's so many mods. Yeah. The Tamriel Rebuilt was released on GOG. Yeah, Cold Zero. I did see that as well. And I saw that Tamriel Rebuilt, didn't it just get a new update, like very recently as well? And speaking of which, I'm conflicted, guys. I was doing a little research on Tamriel Rebuilt. And I know it's probably the best way to play Morrowind, but for my very first playthrough, I don't know if I'd want to create that much extra content, you know? It's an interesting thing. I was thinking more about it. And I would like to get an idea of what the actual vanilla quests are, you know? I think if I had Tamriel Rebuilt, I just wouldn't know the difference. And then I could always do a separate second playthrough where I could I would know what's from the vanilla game and what's from the mod. And then I probably could appreciate the mod a lot better, right? So it's kind of an interesting thing. I was debating, do I want to even have Tamriel Rebuilt for the very first playthrough? And I'm kind of leaning towards no. Tell me if that's crazy, guys. Wait, let me catch up on chat here. Let's see. Just released on GOG? Yeah. Where's my open New Vegas? Yeah, New Vegas is another one on my list as well. Mr. Samuel Adam. Absolutely. Horrible Hordes, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Horrible Hordes is one of my favorites. A pack of rats jumping around can be scary with their diseases. Yeah, for sure. Free reign with archery is amazing, too. I can live out my horse archery fantasies. Yeah, absolutely, Katz. And I like how there's like a bit of like mechanical skill to it. I gotta say, like the movement of free reign when you're trying to shoot a bow, it's actually kind of a cool skill to get up. It's kind of a funny thing. Get Tamriel Rebuilt that just released 1.0 like yesterday. Yeah, Steven. I'm just wondering, do I want it for the first playthrough? You ever played Morrowind? I did play like 10 hours of it last year, but basically nothing. I didn't do much in that 10 hours. what's it called? I got past the first town a little bit. I went to one of those caves where I had my first combat encounter. I thought that was really cool. But then I had that thing where the, I don't know if it's the Dark Brotherhood attacked me, and so I got all that free gear that's really strong. And then people started telling me, okay, you should grab some mod to make that not happen because it really hurts the playthrough or something, and that's actually where I stopped. I don't know if just open Morrowind changes that or if I need a separate mod. Not crazy? Yeah, I think it kind of makes sense. I also think I would just have a much better appreciation for what the mod adds if I don't just immediately jump into it. Because I heard the content of the mod is really good, especially the quests, and someone was telling me that I probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference since it's such good writing as well. And some of the quests are better, apparently, than vanilla quest writing. Maybe a few quality of life mods when you get into it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I don't know which ones I'd grab, though, but perfect companion piece for trudging through my Daggerfall Unity mod list. So many clicks, and hi, Space Beans, welcome in. Good to see you. Tamriel Built changes one of the official DLC plugins, but other than that, it adds a new landmass that doesn't affect vanilla much. Gotcha, yeah. I heard there's also like 900-something quests added with it or something. I haven't tried it myself, but it seems like it just makes things better. I'd probably get it, but that's just me. Gotcha. Yeah, I gotta do some more research on it for sure. Get some like veterans' opinions on if it's better to start more vanilla or with that. At least Minecraft Fallout 3, it's starting to look and play more and more like the actual OG. That's sick. We'll finally have online co-op for that game. Absolutely insane. Yeah, you could remake anything in Minecraft, it feels like. Yeah, that's the Dark Brotherhood. Yeah, that's what it seemed like. As a Morrowind fanatic, I would say that you should definitely skip Tamriel Built for your first playthrough. Interesting. Even if you ignore its content, it could be referenced and it messes with the travel network. Gotcha. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. I just want to have a decent sense of what's actually from vanilla Morrowind, which is not really the mindset I had when I played Daggerfall, interestingly enough. But for some reason with Morrowind, because there's a more of a narrative focus to the game, I feel like, I'm just kind of curious. OpenMW does have an option to delay that until a quest triggers it. That's cool. Yeah, I would definitely need that at least. I know that really messes with the playthrough, apparently. That's like very high-end gear, apparently. Or at least pretty high-end gear. Oh, this guy's got some of the special arrows for sale, but they're pretty expensive, I think. Speaking of Minecraft, I'm playing a JoJo mod right now. That's sick. Crazy what you can do in that game. Yeah, that's absolutely insane. I've actually never played Minecraft either, hilariously. Though I know it's like the ultimate modding playground, basically, these days. I played Tamriel Built in OpenMW, even with a friend simultaneously, and the travel didn't cause any problems ever. Oh, interesting. Could always do a poll if you can't decide. Yeah, that's always my final go-to, my last resort. Whip out the poll for the channel when I'm unsure. I think it could be fun, though. I don't know, like, if Saturday at 12, we just start with Morrowind and see how it feels. I like looking at Morrowind because it's fun for me to talk about it from a Daggerfall fan perspective. And it's, I feel like, I don't know, it's so, you know, all these years later, I'm kind of seeing it for the first time. Could be kind of an interesting perspective for some people to watch. In my video where I talked about Morrowind a little bit, I was already discussing like some of the changes that I thought were interesting from Daggerfall. And I know I've mentioned it before, I like that Morrowind's its own thing. I like that it's not Daggerfall 2. Honestly, Morrowind is worth the vanilla run as your first time experience. It's even insane when you look how people speedrun the game. That's how I'm kind of feeling, Reinhardt. I just kind of want a sense of how it feels without the mod. And I think it almost makes both easier for me to appreciate. Because when I do my second playthrough that's much more modded, I'll have a sense of, you know, basically what vanilla mostly offered me. And then I can see how great all the Tamriel rebuilt editions are, you know? I feel like it'll allow me to appreciate both of them better. It's interesting. Did someone beat Morrowind in like 2 minutes? That's crazy. With all the mods you could download from Minecraft, you could turn to Daggerfall. Not exactly, but probably really close. Yeah, I bet. That honestly would not surprise me. I love that I have Daggerfall Unity and Open Morrowind on my phone. The feature is now, yeah, pretty insane. And I like how Daggerfall is getting so much mod support for the Android version these days. I feel like maybe more than half the mods that are released tend to have like an Android file download now. It's very cool. More and more people are playing it on Android, I feel. And they actually have good modding options now. That's what I did for Darkest Dungeon. It's amazing how different the experience is from vanilla to modded. Yeah. It is really interesting. I also, when I first loaded it up, I wasn't even using OpenMW. And now that I got OpenMW working, I kind of realized just how much better it feels, actually. Like, my original Morrowind was, like, crashing even sometimes. Not crashing, but if I tried to press exit, it would just freeze up my whole computer. It was really weird. But with Open Morrowind, it's, like, running perfect now. It feels great. And it feels like I couldn't take screenshots before. I don't know if that was like a me issue or something. Now I can. I've always wanted a game like Daggerfall. I didn't know it was a thing until decades later. Yeah, it took me a very long time to find Daggerfall as well. Although I knew about it for a long time, I just didn't try it. I probably played Skyrim like 10 years before Daggerfall, maybe 10 years, maybe around there. But I also played Skyrim pretty late. I played all the Elder Scrolls late that I tried. I actually played Arena like a few months before Daggerfall. And I also like that a lot, and I want to cover that on the channel somehow. I'm not sure what I would do for it, but yeah. Boats in particular could be confusing to new players because the Inner Sea now has ports on both sides. It's not a big deal to me. Oh, interesting, but it is a deal. I love Open Morrowind for its 360 character movement option. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't really fooled around too much. I did install it yesterday, just like in preparation for the weekend if we decide to do that. I'll do a poll, I think. I do think that so many people come to my channel specifically for Daggerfall stuff, though. So if I do a poll, I feel like I'll never play anything else, which is fair. But it's just funny. I played Morrowind on my Xbox when I was like 8. That's sick. It was my first Elder Scrolls game. Yeah, actually, my first memory of an Elder Scrolls game is when my friend brought over his Xbox and showed me Oblivion, which is kind of funny. But I didn't even actually play it at the time. I just watched him play a little bit. It's like a different life now. I wish I could get a Fallout game that is like Daggerfall. I can dream. Yeah. Is Fallout 76 not a good sandbox? Or is it just too much like an MMO or doesn't have good systems, maybe? 76 is kind of meant to be more of a sandbox, right? Rather than like a narrative-focused thing. As a kid, I basically lived in Morrowind. I guesstimate I played over 10,000 house hours. That's absolutely insane, Box Guy. Yeah, I was definitely into a lot of like fantasy RPGs back then, but I just somehow missed Elder Scrolls. I actually don't know how, but yeah. I was playing more CRPGs back then. I had like Planescape Torment, Icewind Dale, the first 2 Baldur's Gates. I didn't finish all those back when I was younger, of course. They were hard for me as a kid, but I played them a lot. I would start them up again all the time. And just like sit in the character creator forever. Most people end up dropping Morrowind because of the level up system. They use a similar system to Oblivion. Oh, I'm actually not even very familiar with the Oblivion system, Van. So what's Morrowind's like? It's not based on like the Daggerfall system where you need to get 3 of your primary, 2 of your major, right, and then 1 of your highest minor. I think Daggerfall has tons of modding potential, which makes me find your channel on Gibby. Hey, yeah, thanks, Reinhardt. Yeah, me too. It is one of the most important parts of the experience for me. I think if I could not mod Daggerfall at all, I would maybe have dropped it by now. The modding scene is just such a huge part of its identity to me now. My first Elder Scrolls game was Oblivion. I spent hundreds of hours on it as a kid. It is now my least favorite mainline Elder Scrolls game. I haven't played Arena, though. Arena's pretty fun. It's kind of similar to Daggerfall in some ways, but it does some interesting things differently with combat that I like. And I really like how cleave attacks work in Arena. I think I mentioned this on an older stream before, but when you swing your weapon in Arena, it's actually a lot more satisfying than Daggerfall for me. It covers up like most of the screen, and you can hit like 5 enemies at once, and it has just great feedback feel. I was actually very surprised when I played Daggerfall afterwards, and there was no cleaving at all. Of course, you can get cleaving from, I think it's Red Wario the Glens mod, the Tome of Battle Addendum, I think adds cleave, but it still doesn't feel quite like how it felt in Arena, which I really liked. But yeah, I gotta go back to Arena. I didn't finish it. My first game that was like this during its time was Fallout 3. I think I then played Oblivion a bit backwards. Yeah, I have not touched the Fallout games either, which is crazy. Especially because at the time, I would have liked, I think, Fallout 2, because it's so much like the other CRPG games that I've liked. I do have it now on GOG, though. I think that's the one I have, right? Only 2. I don't think I have 1. I guess I might have it on Steam, because there was a Humble Bundle a long time ago that had like a massive CRPG collection, and I picked up like a bunch from there, and I played through a bunch of them as well. Like Wrath of the Righteous was on there. Most of the old Infinity games were on there. I find Morrowind hard to get into because it has many broken systems, but Open Morrowind mitigates a lot of that, but it feels so jank compared to other Elder Scrolls. That's interesting, Emma. Yeah, I felt the combat was a lot different, and I kind of liked it, but I just didn't understand it well enough yet. In my like short 10 hours, it's just not enough time for me to get a good sense for how I feel about the combat yet. It is much different than Daggerfall. Daggerfall just has a very fast and snappy combat system. It actually, hilariously enough, it's probably, like, easily my favorite Elder Scrolls combat system right now. If I spend more time with Morrowind, that might change. But, yeah, I just didn't love Oblivion or Skyrim's combat system too much. Or Daggerfall, one of the cool things about Daggerfall is the time to kill. You know, sometimes you could get one good strike on an enemy and kill them. It's a small pet peeve of mine with a lot of RPGs where enemies turn kind of into, like, you know, health sponges. And I just like how in Daggerfall, it's snappy, it's fast, the movement feels good. You have control over your different swipes, which have different functions. You know, like the stab is more accurate, overhead slice is less accurate, but more damage. Just kind of a simple, cool system that Daggerfall has. Yo, guys, I'm so slow reading this. Sorry, guys. My bad. Let me catch up on some chat here. If I miss your message, as always, feel free just to repeat it. Oh man, I'm so behind. Where was I? 76 is just grinding events for legendary loot. It gets pretty boring. A bunch of people are like level 10,000. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't like that either, Steven, so I see where you're coming from. My dream game is a Daggerfall/GTA game, but with Star Wars. Oh man, Star Wars Genesis for Starfield is as close as I'll get to that currently. That does sound sick. I was never the biggest Star Wars fan, but yeah, I mean, that would be amazing. Even I'd have to try that out. When you get 10 skill ups in a major skill, you level up. Okay. Oh, that's all it is, huh? That's the entire system for leveling up with Morrowind? That seems so interesting. Is major skills the highest skills then, though? So there's no primary skills anymore? I can't remember now. Have you tried to Ultima Underworld Unity Remake? If you like Daggerfall Unity, I'm sure you'd like that too. I've not tried any Ultima game, actually. Surprisingly. Though Ultima Underworld specifically gets mentioned to me a lot, so that's probably the first one I'd try. But yeah, it's one of those older series I just haven't gotten around to for any entry yet. But you only get 3 tokens to then increase your stats. Oh, okay, and the stats then have a modifier if you skilled up something that the skill governs. Oh, that's kind of weird, man. You get 3 tokens to increase your stats. Okay. Yeah, I wonder, I'm probably going to mess up my build so bad when I play Morrowind, but that's okay. You guys can laugh at me in the chat when I'm doing it live. I'm also probably going to die on that cave in the beginning. That cave was like super challenging. I think it took me like 3 tries to not die in that first cave there. 10 using major and minor. Each skill requires, I think, a baseline level up plus the relative level. So for example, Longblade could start on 45 and require you to perform 45 hits with a Longblade. Gotcha. That's so interesting. That's so weird. That's so different from what I would expect. Major and minor are the only 2 skill categories in Morrowind then. Arena's cool. I wish it was more accessible for casual Elder Scrolls fans. Yeah, Reinhardt, I do know they're working on some kind of port, right? Or some kind of remake thing. I forgot what the name's called. Someone might know. But I think that project is still kind of far away from finishing. I want to like Genesis. Starfield doesn't have enough numbers for me, unfortunately. Yeah, I have not played Starfield either yet. If you skill up heavy armor, you get an endurance modifier. Leveling up 10 gives 5 stat up modifiers. Yeah, even just reading the description is kind of confusing. Yeah, I'd have to probably see in game. It might make more sense, but I could already see why some people might not love it then. Daggerfall has taken the place of New Vegas in my life. Both are great modding communities, but I love the freedom and scale of the world of Daggerfall. DFU is also a much more stable engine. Yeah, I played so much New Vegas ever since I was a teen. Nice, Katz. Yeah, Daggerfall Unity, I mentioned it before. It's just one of those games I don't get bored of, though. It's such a funny thing. Like, Daggerfall is definitely in my top 5 favorite games, you know, ever. But I actually don't know if it's my number 1 or like my number 4 or, you know, somewhere around there. But of all the games I play, Daggerfall basically never gets boring for me. Like other games I might love, I still have to take a break from them, like long breaks. Daggerfall, I could do like a single week break and it's like I'm fully refreshed. Just something about how, I don't know, comfy, cozy, and how it's so customizable. It's just so easy to build your own next playthrough. That's like a completely different idea, you know? So I don't know, I just don't really get bored of Daggerfall, which is why it's perfect for a channel, like game that I focus on. Because other games, you know, I might need a longer break from if I was covering them. But Daggerfall, I just don't feel that way. But yeah, I don't know if it's my favorite game of all time, Daggerfall, but it is top 5. Fall 2 is one of my favorite CRPGs in general. It's really good if you ignore some of the jokes and make peace with the somewhat painful intro sequence. Yeah, I've heard Fallout 2 is amazing. If I were to play like a sci-fi CRPG, that would probably be the first one. That or Colony Ship I'm also interested in. So you can get at max 15 stat points and at worst you'll get maybe 4. Interesting. Each level lets you raise 3 attributes with 1 to 5 times bonus per attribute depending on your action. Yeah, that's so... That already sounds confusing a bit. You can slow down chat? Yeah, I think it's okay. Especially with these Let's Plays, we're kind of just chilling. I guess watching the VOD might not be the most fun. I'd love to see something like open Morrowind for New Vegas in the future. Yeah, that would be sick. So Shpan, no need to apologize. Thanks, guys. Major, minor, and miscellaneous skills. Okay, so Morrowind does have that. Okay, so it's the same tier system as Daggerfall. Gotcha. Morrowind is the easiest game. Oh, interesting. What's up, Common Joe? Yeah, that's kind of cool then. I don't like to look up builds on like my first playthrough anyway. I just kind of like to go with the concept, and if it turns out bad, that's okay. Tried Eye of the Beholder mod? Yo, what's up? Hack Song? Yeah, I have actually. It's a really good mod, and we have it. We might have it on right now. I'm not sure. Let me check for you. Yeah, I have it on right now actually. As you can see, here's my character in third person, even though she's a wood elf thief. But this is the model I have on right now, and you could change the model. It's a very cool mod, Eye of the Beholder, and it actually has a lot of important functionality for other mods, which is interesting. Like the Borrowed Skins mod, which lets you wild shape into animals. It requires this for similar reasons. But yeah, it's a very cool mod, really nice mod. Because some people just, you know, prefer that third person option. And even though it's not like necessarily perfect because it has to use an in-game model, right? It won't always reflect your armor, of course, but it's still a great option to have. And you can choose between. I actually think you could do it in the mod settings here. Yeah, Eye of the Beholder. There's actually a couple different models you can choose from. And as a quick note, if you're trying it out yourself, Hacksong, odd numbers is male, even number is female for the player sprites here. And you can also change your horse one. So 7 is the male mage, but yeah, even will be all the female ones. So it's kind of easier to look at that way if you need to. You can test some of them out. The Ultimate Underground Unity remake just came out not too long ago. Someone remade it for like 10 years and then Shadow dropped it like 6 months ago. That's sick. It's like a bigger DFU dungeon crawler. Nice. Definitely in your top 5? Yeah, for me, for sure. I also have like a more, I don't know, I also have like another connection to it because my channel is all based on it, so maybe there's a little bias there. But I loved Daggerfall way before I was doing my channel, and it was an inspiration for even really getting started on it. I've had this channel actually for a long time, but I would just do very random stuff before I started covering Daggerfall. You can get so much stats from Alchemy that level up stats just doesn't really matter. Okay, Alchemy abuses is how people finish the game in minutes. Yeah, I've heard this before, Van, that the Alchemy stuff is absolutely insane in Morrowind, which is really interesting, and I'm actually really curious to see how that functions and why it's that way. I had hopes for the Wayward Realms, but it keeps looking more and more scammy. They need to drop some gameplay at this point. Yeah, I was following the Wayward Realms for a while. I'm always hoping, I'm hoping the project turns out well, of course, because I want any spiritual successor to do well. That's based on Daggerfall, of course. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see gameplay first. I didn't actually do the early access stuff. I don't like doing early access stuff anyway, personally. But once the game actually does release, I'll 100% give it a try. I mean, I hope it turns out well, of course. They've had some unique issues, too, that aren't all their fault, so I do want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but yeah, I know a lot of people are kind of burned on other titles from other developers that have very long development cycles, and they don't really ever come into fruition to anything, you know? So I think just the way I guess the gaming scene is right now, the landscape, I definitely understand a lot of like skepticism that people could have here. But yeah, I also have not really been following them closely recently, so that's also part of it. I don't really know what they're up to, just because I know they post a lot on YouTube and stuff, but I haven't really been looking at them anymore. I was a while back, though, when I first heard about it. I was excited. And I still will be excited, but yeah, I know it's far away, so. Honestly, you don't need to look up for build. The base classes, while not optimal, are pretty good at cornering one type of gameplay. Yeah, it's cool, Common Joe. I probably still will make a custom class. It just, I don't really care if it's optimal or not, but I did look at the pre-made classes. I didn't see a druid again. I don't know what Bethesda was thinking back then. Yeah, base classes are better in Morrowind, though some of them still have that Daggerfall jank. Yeah, I'd expect that. Daggerfall Unity is my favorite sandbox game, but I haven't played it for like 2 years because I do my mod list and I'm only building it now. Oh, gotcha, base beans? Yeah. Yeah, I have a whole backup of my entire mod list, just in case something ever happens. Like, you have a ton of weapons as major skills for the warrior. Yeah, that's a kind of classic. They did the same mistake in Daggerfall, Van. It's probably much worse in Daggerfall, though. Aren't some of the weapon differences in Morrowind actually meaningful? Like, some weapon skills have meaningful differences? They're changing the game engine for Wayward Realms, and that's added more development time? Yeah, for sure. That's going to be a whole, kind of like a little bit of a reset, right? Weapons creative, Tonius. We've never heard that phrase before. That's funny. This guy doing all the coding quit. Yeah, I heard that as well. Yeah, it's kind of... Yeah, I mean, they're going through some stuff for sure. Man, where'd all my stamina go? Didn't I just rest? Let's rest again. We're going to look for the Thieves Guild now because it's actually not showing up on the map, which is interesting. Let's see. I think the innkeeper disappeared. He should be around here. Yeah, he's disappeared here. The old knight did a good video on all the red flags around where... Oh, did he? Interesting. Oh, I think I saw the thumbnail of it. I didn't click into the watch the video. I might actually have that video on my watch later list. That's interesting, Steven. Yeah, I think I did see that pop up for me, though. I should watch that then. Is it kind of like a roast video? I'm just curious. I'm not judging it or anything. And I'm not saying it's not deserved. If it is, I'm just curious. Can you show what mod you use? Graphic and main quest. Yeah, I actually... sorry, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I'm going to say Mac. I actually have my entire mod list on my Discord if you're interested in joining. And I also have the mod load order there. And the quest mod packs are also there. Though this one might not be because this is more recent. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even think this actually comes up. Yeah, I do have one extra mod that's probably not on my list, and that's the capstone quest for the Thieves Guild. But let's actually look for a Thieves Guild, because I don't even think this town has one. If not, we're going to do some fast traveling, guys, to see if we can find one that actually exists for us. Morrowind is the best weapon variety, armor variety as well. I wish spears stayed in the series. Yeah, I actually grabbed Red Rory the Glen's Tome of Battle Addendum just for spears in Daggerfall. If you guys don't know, that those spears feel great in Daggerfall. They also have a cleave effect, which he added, which is really cool on them. It also adds crossbows, I think, that mod. But yeah, I love spears. The real way to play is to randomly roll for your skills, advantages, and disadvantages. Yo, it's a possibility. Yeah, that is a fun way, actually. And actually, because, you know, Morrowind's not like a sandbox in the same way that Daggerfall is, I kind of like the idea of role-playing, like, in the context of the narrative. Like, I wanna try a lot of quests. I want to go through faction quest lines. I want to pay attention to the main narrative, you know, with Morrowind, because I know it's a different experience in Daggerfall. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, I might have a different approach than I would for Daggerfall for sure. I probably still will just do like a random custom class though, honestly. Some idea I think is cool. We'll make the character together on stream though, for sure. You guys could give me some advice if you'd like. Argonian Spearman is the best build. Oh, that's cool. What's up, Sandstorm? Yeah. Yo, speaking of which, guys, I played a little bit of Morrowind. Is that character that's on the boat with you in the beginning, is that a Dunmer? That first guy you see when you get control and he talks to you about the guy coming? The look they have for Dunmers is like crazy. That's not what I was expecting. I think they look really cool in Morrowind. Not really a roast, just goes over the development and all the issues they're going through and everything that's going on. Gotcha, Steven. Okay, that's cool. That's very interesting for me. I really should check that out then. I might check that out tonight even. I'm like 90% positive it's in my watch later list. Man, that rain looks really good. That's got to be a mod. It may be. I'm not actually sure if this is a mod. If it is a mod, it's something with vanilla enhanced, maybe. I'm not sure if vanilla enhanced actually upgrades the rain, but it might. It wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, it looks good, though. I mean, the rain looks amazing in Daggerfall. Basically, they're out of money and working it with volunteers. Oh, wow. That's crazy. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, Steven. Yeah, it's unfortunate. What's up, Grim? Oh, he is... Okay, yeah, he is a Dumber. That's crazy. And Mysterious Fox. Yo, what's up, everyone? Thanks for coming to hang out today. Yes, gray skin and red eyes. Yeah, I guess that's the tell, right? He almost doesn't look like what I would expect a Dumber to look like. Not only is he a Dumber, he's the Dumber. Okay. Mate versus Morrowind are all very different. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. I think the Dark Elf look in Morrowind is maybe the best look. I really don't love how they look in, like, Skyrim, honestly. Oblivion I don't remember too well. John Dunmer. The Dunmer. I don't play Morrowind much, but I absolutely love the race designs of it. I think it's peak of the series. Yeah, I'm thinking so too, Katz. I do like how they look in Daggerfall as well, but they might look the best in Morrowind, honestly. I think Dark Elves for sure look the best in Morrowind, right now, at least for me. But I looked at that guy, I was like, man, this could be like, I don't know. Yeah, they actually look like their own unique take on the concept, you know? Not something that's like D&D related. The thing that gets me is they're still this day, like literally today they posted a video using old Unreal Engine 5 footage. They said a long time ago they weren't using. Oh, interesting, yeah. Do they not have any footage in their new engine yet, I guess? Are they like, is it going all the way back to like scratch, basically? And Arena, yeah. Yeah, I think I liked how some of them looked in Arena as well, though I think I maybe like Daggerfall a little better than Arena's look on them, but I think they're both good. Very classic fantasy vibe. Yeah, I'm really waiting for new footage in the engine, honestly. It's in a sorry state, yeah. I do hope they pull through. I backed them at the kick. Oh, did you Cold Zero? Interesting. Yeah, I decided not to do that. I don't really like doing that too much, but I still hope the project turns out well, of course. I'm always going to root for a spiritual successor to Daggerfall. Especially people that, you know, potentially really could understand the game and its systems. I think more and more indie developers are trying to capture sandbox RPGs. There's just more of a enthusiasm about the genre these days, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. I do feel like if people were going to understand it, they should be good. You know, they should be like good developers for that, right? I mean, a lot of them worked on the original, so. And they'd have all these years to think about what they would maybe change. It's kind of crazy to think about. I think they even talked about that in one of their... I know they did a lot of like long-form interviews with people. I haven't watched them all. There's like, honestly, probably too much of it. I don't know. They've done some long-form interviews with some YouTubers and stuff, but yeah. I'm still gonna... Once they do the big release of like whatever that first gameplay video is, I'm definitely gonna be interested in watching that. And maybe I'll cover it on the channel if I like the way it looks. I'll have to see, of course. I'll be real, the Wayward Realms is cooked. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you guys honestly would know better than me just because I haven't been following them. I think the last time I followed them or I guess like was closely following them, is I don't know if you guys remember on my channel, maybe some of you guys weren't around back then, but I did cover the Wayward Realms in like 2025 summer-ish time, so maybe about a year ago now. And that was like the last time I was like excited and looking into it. But yeah, when they do release something big, I'll be looking at it for sure. All of them look alien to Morrowind and Oblivion. Yeah, they definitely do. It's just their own unique take on fantasy, you know, staple fantasy stuff, which is cool. I kind of always thought Elder Scrolls did a good job at that in general. Like just their world building, the way they design their races and their cultures. It's just very unique. Has its own twist. Doesn't feel Tolkien-esque, I guess. Doing good. Doing a werewolf run in the Alkir Desert right now. Female Argonian level 6. That's sick, Graham. Yeah, I have not done a werewolf run in a very long time. That's a fun one, though. Werewolves feel good in this game. Strong, fast. It's actually a satisfying concept. And they're not as restrictive as, like, the vampire restrictions. Like, taking damage in the daytime as a vampire, which prevents you from fast traveling, is pretty crazy in Daggerfall. Definitely need a mod for that with vampires. If you dig really deep, you can find a single video of the new engine. It looks bad. Gotcha. I hope they get it together, but people would be a lot more understanding if they were just more transparent about what's going on. Yeah, I think so too, Steven. And I know they're like, it's weird. They post a ton. I kind of noticed they have a post like almost every other day or something. So they are still like trying to share a lot, but it seems like it's mostly concept art. I always see concept art from them, never in-engine stuff. I only ever backed 4 Kickstarters in my life. This was one of them. Gotcha, Cold Zero. Yeah, I don't think I've ever done a Kickstarter. Yeah, I've never done one yet. Maybe someday if like the right one comes to me, but yeah, I know they'll give an early I think if you got the Wayward Realms Kickstarter backing thing, then you get like an early copy, I think they said. Maybe, or like an early access copy, maybe. That might be what it is. So I'm going to kind of miss out on the early access. People might be asking me when other YouTubers cover it and stuff, and I'm not. But I just, yeah, I'd rather just wait for it to be done, personally. I don't feel like any rush to jump into it. Like, I would be excited for it, and maybe I'll get more excited for it when I see it. But, you know, I'm very happy with Daggerfall Unity. I got a huge backlog of great games to play. So I don't feel like I need to jump into it immediately. There's no, like, FOMO growing for me with this game. But yeah, all that being said, I am still hoping it turns out well, of course. Part of why I want it to turn out well is I just want it, like, I want all these sandbox RPGs that have some Daggerfall inspiration to get more people into this game and to encourage more indie developers to try their own sandbox RPGs. There's a couple others I have my eye on, like the Indie Scrolls, Broken Dagger. I don't know much about them. I just very loosely heard about what they're doing. All right, I think none of these towns actually have the Thieves Guild. We got to go a little bit further. We're going to fast travel. And we're looking for just one Thieves Guild that's actually open. Quick left field question. Do you use the mod that automatically changes interactions mode, or do you switch it manually? Oh, I switch it manually, Base Beans. Yeah. I like switching manually. It doesn't really have to be done too often, since the grab mode generally functions with the dialogue mode. It's only ever important with steel, I guess. Though there are some situations where it can be important to swap, I guess. But yeah, if you're using the language skills overhaul that requires the dialogue option, then I might do the mod that automatically changes, but I don't actually use that one, so. All right, is there a Thieves Guild in this one? There is. Oh, wow. So we were just getting unlucky with those other cities. All right, let's join the Thieves Guild now, finally. Didn't touch, straight up chase Tolkien in Oblivion. Yeah, I think that's why it got its whole... Isn't that technically like a... what's that called? They changed the lore. Like halfway through. It was supposed to be a jungle, I heard. Yeah, that's all they have is like concept art and stuff. They only have artists. They don't have any technical people. Gotcha, Steven, yeah. Vampires in the game are cool, but hard to play because most of the time you're stuck till nighttime. Yeah, exactly, Grim. That's why I really like the new... I don't know if you heard about this, Grim Flame, but Astrid's Guide to Vampirism just came out, I guess, last week. And that's a huge overhaul of vampire mechanics. I highly recommend it. Really cool new additions, breaking some new ground in Daggerfall modding as well. But it makes it a lot more approachable. and a lot less restrictive. You can put like a hood up on yourself to prevent sun damage and stuff. Simple stuff like that, which is fun. Double Fine Adventure, System Shock Remake, Wayward Realms, DORF. That's enough for me. Nice, yeah. My backlog alone is just huge, so... John Masai will always have Daggerfall at the end of the day. Absolutely, Katz. People say gaming is dead, but we're out here thriving. Yeah, for sure. And, yeah, if anything, Daggerfall Unity is thriving more than it ever has, which is crazy. It's basically... Oh, yeah, so this is... I don't know, I'm having that little lighting bug, maybe? But, yeah, as you can see here, guys, the outside exterior is also redesigned with the Thieves Guild Overhaul mod. So it's kind of cool. You can visually recognize where the Thieves Guild is, if you know. Because all this is new, and so is this, even. It actually adds a little baker on the other side, who's secretly part of the Thieves Guild. But yeah, we can actually join now and hang and see what this looks like and hang out here. It's really cool. Something I love about the Thieves Guild in Daggerfall is, especially with this overhaul, it looks like a normal house, you know? You're walking around, everything's normal here, just blending in with the normal city stuff. It's more decorated, of course. Residential buildings don't generally look this decorated. This is actually the quest giver, but he just looks like a normal guy. Actually, we could talk to him real quick. Yeah, so we're part of the guild already. We got initiated. But the coolest part, of course, and this is just so out of like a classic fantasy novel, in the attic is where all the brains of the operations hang out. And it looks really good. You got like bookcases here, some NPCs hanging out, you got a little sign. And the coolest touch, these are some trainers, I think. Yeah, we got some trainers for Thieves skills. The Thieves Guild, remember? I thought so, glad to help. I just love the idea of them. They're all hanging out in the city secretly, you know, in the attic. You got some boxes here. But these little piles you see here are actually free loot that you can take that's brought here from other thieves. And I really love this concept. As you can see, as you come back to Thieves Guild, this will respawn with new stuff. And it's the idea is like other thieves are actually leaving their stolen goods for everyone to share. I just love the concept of this so much. There's supposed to be a guy right here as well. I guess he comes at a higher rank or he's invisible. This is the guy that gives you like all the information, I guess. Yeah, this guy is for buying and selling items. So there's some unique items that'll come from the Thieves Guild only here, which is also very cool. But yeah, now that we can pay to train, this is going to be super good for us. We can start leveling up quicker, getting some hard to skill up skills like pickpocketing up. Let's pay for a little pickpocketing as well. All right. But yeah, I love how this overhaul mod redesigned this. I love the concept of everyone hanging out in this little secret house. All right, let me catch up on chat. Modern AAA is rotten. Yeah, Mysterious Fox, it's gotten pretty bad at the moment. I even feel like many years ago I was not usually too into AAA games already. But yeah, it's only gotten worse, unfortunately, for us. But it does also feel like, you know, there's a lot of good indie stuff that has really good production values now. Indie games don't really feel too like bottlenecked by in my opinion anyway, by like all the technical side of stuff. I just feel like indie games get better and better in their quality, better and better in like their production, yeah, and how they capture specific mechanics. And we kind of see smaller studios, I guess you can call them AA studios, like an Owlcat or Warhorse Studio. Well, I guess Warhorse Studios. Do you guys consider them AAA now? I don't know. I guess Kingdom Come Deliverance might be big enough. But when I think of like AA, I think of like Owlcat, you know, who I think are doing awesome work still. Of course, the Silverhand hunts you as a werewolf. Busted gives you crazy stats. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the stats are insane. The speed, the strength. But it's fitting. It should be strong. Don't they all hang out in the vanilla too? Same with the Dark Brotherhood? Yeah, I think they do. It's just sort of a different look on it. But I don't know. Does the vanilla one have the loot piles? I guess it might. I'm actually not sure about that, Cold Zero. You might be right, actually. Indian AA is where it's at nowadays? Yeah, for sure. What's up, Lord Munkus? I forgot you can also join Blades in Daggerfall. They have a secret guild, or maybe I dreamed it. I don't know off the top of my head, Cold Zero. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Unless the Blades is one of the nightly orders. If it's one of the nightly orders, then maybe you can. Dessa, simple game. An item in a house that needs lifting. Are you up for it? Let's do it. Don't know about the loot piles, though? Gotcha, yeah. That's the spirit. As I said, nothing complicated about this job. A client wants to get a hold of a certain antique ivory piece which currently resides in the Gareford residence here in Oxbourne. You have 2 days to bring it to me for a finder's fee of 119 gold. Yeah, so most Thieves Guild quests in Daggerfall don't have you going into dungeons, so it's kind of a faster guild to get your reputation up in, which is kind of cool for shorter playthroughs or other ideas you have. Like, I think this one's literally in the same town, so you can do this, you know, like in 10 minutes or something. I wonder if they marked it on my map for me. Probably not. Nah. Yeah, I'm actually curious. I might look up at the mod page just to see if the loot piles are added. If they're vanilla, then Bethesda vanilla or vanilla Bethesda stuff, they were cooking back then. Because that's a really cool idea. One sec, guys. I'm going to get a drink real quick here. I'll just mute the mic. Yeah, now that there's some more of you guys in the chat here too, is there like any Gamescom announcement you're really hoping for? Something exciting? Or is there something you expect to see that I might not have thought about? Because I think they're going to show the Game of Thrones tactics game, which I could be interested in, or I guess it's like a strategy game. I don't know anything about it really, but I would be curious about that one at least a little bit. Fred is the 13th of Sun's Heights. I have 2 days to steal a piece of antique ivory from the Gareford residence here in Oxbourne. Okay, cool. Let's start asking some people. You asked the right person, just look for it southwest of here. Alright, she marked it on my map for me. To be honest, I expect nothing, yeah. That is absolutely fair. Oh man, guys, this quest, I think, gave me a windmill. That might be the first time I was told to enter a windmill for a quest, but doesn't that look like it's going to be a windmill? I think it will be. That's kind of cool. I did not know that was possible, actually. Man, if it's possible for the game to register a windmill as a quest, do you think it might be possible for a bank to register a windmill as a player home? Wait a second. My dream of the windmill player home might actually be a real thing. I'm gonna have to test that. I'm gonna keep spawning different cities and seeing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a windmill. And it's counting as a residence. That is really interesting. I'm actually gonna have to test that after the stream. Just keep going to different banks and seeing if a windmill ever shows up in the player home option. This is so funny. I can even steal this with the Kleptomania mod? That's crazy. I'm curious about the Worms Tactics games that got leaked a few months ago. Interesting. I don't think I heard of that one either. I'm really happy for Dorf. Oh, who's attacking me? Oh man, we got a fight in the windmill. Damn the dragon, you're a feisty one, ain't ya? Better get out of here before I have to really hurt you. I don't think so. Oh man, he actually does hurt. The Wood Elf scum killed Uthwir Yumfield. Am I gonna be attacked more here? I am. Oh man, they do a ton of damage too. Still with a little poison here. Oh yeah, we can crouch. This is a kind of a sick place to kite enemies. I think she died to the poison. Yeah, I like how the Thieves Guild has like an interesting take on some quest design from vanilla. I'm really hyped for Dwarf, and I'm hoping for all the best on its release. I love old school style RTS games like that. I don't think I heard of it. Does it stand for is it a dwarf game or something like that? I do really hope it kicks ass. It's the only game I am really hyped about. That's cool. It's developed in OpenRA, which I find wild because it looks so different from the original games made in the engine. Yeah, I don't think I've heard of this. We got prayer beads. I don't think that's part of my list. Nah, it's not part of my list. We'll get some of this put away. It's an RTS game? Gotcha. Alright, so interestingly enough, something should have spawned here that I can steal. Which is kind of interesting for this windmill here. Oh man, another guy? Alright, I gotta be careful here. Oh, and my game crashed. That's so sad. What terrible timing. It literally crashed as I pressed quick save, which is kind of hilarious. We'll see if it actually saved or not. Oh man. I think we saved right outside here, so not a big deal, but that's kind of funny. That's kind of hilarious timing. All right, give you 1 second here, guys. We'll get right back into it. Done in open red. Oh, red alert. Gotcha. Okay. Heavily modified. Looks like KKND and plays like Command and Conquer, maybe? That's cool. It's amazing. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I heard it. It's a fan-made remake of the Red Alert 1 engine. Dwarf looks to be heavily inspired by Command and Conquer and StarCraft. Gotcha, Katz. Quick save crash. Classic Bethesda. Yeah. All right, we saved right on the way, so that's okay. Yeah, I have not played Command and Conquer before. I definitely played a decent amount of StarCraft, but I was never good at that game. I can remember being young and always doing like the 3v3 on battle.net. Oh, it did save here. Okay, cool. So I wonder if I go back in here, did I reset the encounter? Maybe. Because I don't even know where those NPCs keep spawning from. It's kind of weird. Like it just spawned behind me like that or something. Kind of strange. I feel like the windmill might have bugged this quest out a little bit, honestly. Which is kind of interesting. Look at this formal hat. This is pretty cool. It's like a painter's hat. You should try the remastered Command & Conquer. It's worth it. Yeah, that sounds cool. I haven't really gotten into too many RTSs in the past. They're always a pretty challenging, what's it called? Genre. But I did play. Do you guys know Warlord's Battlecry? Is that what it's called? Man, that's it. I'm trying to think of the name. Battlecry Warlords Battlecry, maybe. That was kind of cool. I liked that game a while back. I also played. Oh, I can't think of the other one either. DFU does proximity and sightline spawning. Gotcha. Yeah, this is kind of interesting how I'm going to die if another one comes in here. Let's try to get some like a vantage point here. So I should be looking for something I can steal here. Which is interesting. I've never had a quest spawn in a windmill, though. Oh, there he is. Run. We got him. That effect looks so good, though. You can put on easy to see the story? Gotcha, yeah. Warlords is a really old series. Yeah, Cold Zero. I just played... Last year I played... I think it's the third one. And it's kind of like a mix of RTS and like more traditional RPG. I thought it was an interesting title. I don't feel like it like executed everything perfectly or anything, but yeah, I never really played anything like it. Oh, that scared me. All right, someone here has to have it. I don't even know what I'm looking for. Oh, it said something. Okay, we got a new map at least. I didn't see what it was, though. Yeah, Battle Cry is a third part. Gotcha. Film a wire arrow, yeah. Yeah, this explosive arrow is kind of busted, actually. I didn't realize just how busted it was until this playthrough here. But it completely bypasses the material of the bow you're using. It doesn't look like it matters if the shot actually technically misses. Another one. My own explosive arrow, that's hilarious. Alright, I might have to come back to this. Oh wait, Die Harder might have triggered here? I don't think I died. We live. We wake up in a safe place. Yeah, this mod is so cool if you guys don't know. Die Harder gives you a chance to survive and have an alternate situation happen. We could have got captured and brought to a dungeon. We could have been woken up in the same place a few hours later. But this time looks like a good Samaritan found me and brought me to a safe place. We might be in a different town, actually. It's possible. It's probably the same town, but... Wow, this NPC looks really clean with vanilla enhanced when he's reading that book. Explosive arrow's too fun? Yeah, it's actually hilarious. It's my favorite arrow from the mod. Let's see where we are. I think we're in the same town. We are, okay. We gotta rest then. I wonder if I'm resetting the encounter whenever I leave the windmill or if it's actually counting towards the quest. But, yeah, it's so weird to have a quest spawn in a windmill like that. Especially when the game said you should be looking for something to steal. Glad you survived, though? Yeah, finally. This might be the first time that Die Harder actually saved me on a run that I was either recording or live streaming. All right, so we got a couple inns north here. Poison arrows insane against humanoids? Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, that first warrior dropped super fast. It's kind of funny to blow yourself up with your own explosive arrow, too. Alright, now we can heal up. How a 30-year-old game with a bunch of mods look like the future? Yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. Oh, we also leveled up. That's awesome. And what's up, Jimmy? Hope you're doing well. Alright, so with the Skullduggery mod, attributes actually matter a decent amount for some of the skill checks. Let's get a little bit more in agility. A little bit more in speed. Speed matters for pickpocketing. It matters for lockpicking as well, I think. Agility matters for basically every thief skill. From stealth to lockpicking to pickpocket. Alright, let's just get a little bit more in speed then. This character needs it. It's so satisfying with the Kleptomaniac mod that I could just steal each individual apple if I wanted to. Or I could steal this iron skillet. Or I could steal this cooked fish. Can I steal the painting? No, okay. I could steal this wooden spoon that's hanging from the ceiling here. It's just crazy. I really don't know how this mod works. But it's awesome. Alright. What's kind of funny is we actually The antique ivory from the Gayford residence here in Oxbourne. Deliver it? Okay. So I might be running out of a little time here because being saved with Die Harder did take some time. So I think that we had 2 days to do it. So we should still have enough time, of course. But yeah, we don't want to die again for sure. I don't know how any mods work, to be fair. Yeah, that's actually, that applies to me as well. I just always thought that things like that didn't actually have like some kind of registered hitbox or anything, you know? So I wonder if the mod author just added that to every item that's represented with Daggerfall expanded textures, because that's what I think they did. Which is probably a ton of work, honestly. I think Gamescom starts with the pre-show in like 30 minutes. So we might just stream until then. I'm also going to do a poll, though, you know? Actually, let me do the poll in chat. Just get your guys' opinion here. I'm going to make, do we start a Morrowind playthrough on Saturday? Because I know there's a good amount of you guys that are here specifically for the Daggerfall content. Seems like Gamescom will be big. Yeah, I hope so. I hope there's at least 1 or 2 announcements that I could be excited for. That'd be cool. Yeah, I know the Game of Thrones tactics or strategy game will be talked about. I have no idea if that's like a full title or who's developing it or anything, but I'm curious. Are all your Morrowind mods already set up? No, but I do have Open Morrowind working. I tested it, and I wouldn't be getting too many mods. I think I would just do maybe I'll do a little research on Reddit, but or maybe you guys could even give me some advice. But I would just do maybe some small tweaks. I'm not gonna. I think I decided I don't want to do Tamriel rebuilt at the moment. I think it'd be cooler for me to get that on my second playthrough, so I can sort of appreciate both the vanilla game, and I could also appreciate the. Oh, all the dead corpses came outside. Interesting. The GOG version comes with some mods pre-installed. Yeah, that's interesting, Emma. They tried the same thing with Daggerfall Unity originally, and people were not happy with what they did. I don't know the specifics. They fixed it now, though, I think. But that is interesting, though. They probably learned their lesson, I bet, at this point. I don't know the details, though, of it. But, all right, we got a floating corpse, too. We got 8 votes, 100% yes. All right, that's kind of sick. Like, there's no way a thief quest is spawning 9 different guards, right? This has to be, like, slightly bugged somehow. Because, yeah, this is so weird. The GOG one basically just has Tamriel. Okay, gotcha, Lord Monkus. Yeah, then So, can I still install it without their mods on GOG? Because I'd rather play it on GOG if I can, but yeah, without their mods though, that'd be nice. I hope the channel does well. My 2 favorite Daggerfall channels got weird and then stopped uploading. Oh yeah, Steven, yeah. Yeah, I've been really happy with how the channel's been doing lately, honestly. Yeah, I'm always super appreciative of you guys hanging out with me. The live streams have been doing well too. It's been a lot of fun for me. I've kind of been leaning more towards the live stream content actually, which maybe some people don't like as much, but I'm still working on videos, of course, but it's just I've been live streaming a lot. But it's been really enjoyable for me. But in general, yeah, I'm very happy with how the channel's doing. Because for me, the channel's just a hobby, which is fun. I know some people, for them, there's more pressure because they are trying to make it like a full-time thing for them. But for me, I like having it as a hobby. Then I can kind of focus on what I like. But yeah, my most recent video, kind of randomly, I don't know why, it's like my best performing video in months now. It's at like 16,000, I think, which is absolutely crazy. Making it like a top 5 video on my channel now. So that's awesome. And it feels especially good because I've been working a little bit harder on the thumbnails and stuff. And my editing I've been working a little harder on, so yeah, it's really I don't know. I'm very grateful these days. But yeah, I still also do want to cover some other games sometimes. Oh, look at this wheel. It's kind of... Yeah, we got another guy here. This is like the 10th enemy spawned on this quest. What is happening right here? We might have to abandon this because I think something weird is happening here, which is kind of interesting. I wonder if anyone else has mentioned... On the floor, there's a glass flask on the floor next to the wheel. Oh, you might be a genius, Cold Zero. Oh, by the wheel. Oh, man. Oh, no, run. I'm stuck. Wait, let me catch up on chat, then I'll look for it. What else we got here? Adventure or got into politics or something. Got real... Oh, gotcha. It's kind of weird because he was European. I see. Yeah, I think, you know, sometimes when some people get a bit of a fan base, they pivot to different content, or if they grow out of whatever they're doing. But yeah, I feel you. That's definitely unfortunate. When you go to a specific content creator for something you love and then you lose that, yeah, I know, it's not fun. I know that feeling as well. There's some content creators I used to like a lot that kind of either just stopped or they swapped something completely different. I used to watch Adventure Art years ago, but he suddenly stopped making videos. Yeah, I've never heard of the name, actually. I didn't know there was another Daggerfall guy like that. Mika Raygun started praying during streams and disappeared one day too. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know either of those two, but they were probably before my time, honestly. They both did like Daggerfall content, both of them. That was the whole channel focus. Yeah, I missed AA had some good playthroughs. That's cool, yeah. There was some other content creator that people used to mention to me that did like the language skill playthrough. I can't think of the name now anymore. The one content creator I like a lot for Daggerfall is Ragnarok. I think he makes such good videos, honestly. He captures like an idea or a fun concept, and then he does all the research. He's got great editing skills and very enjoyable to watch. You'll always learn something very cool about any of the games he covers. And he mostly covers Daggerfall, I think. I think he's also done Arena, maybe. But yeah, Ragnarok's got great content if you guys want to watch some Daggerfall videos. It's a lot different than... It's not Let's Plays, it's not mod showcases. It's just like he kind of takes a concept and explores it very well. Your last video was great. I've been enjoying the last streams too. Thank Katz, yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out. Which is kind of why the Druid playthrough is taking so long. I'm not happy with the way it's looking right now. I've recorded a lot for the intro, and then I ended up scrapping the entire thing. So it's kind of like a waste of time on the Druid thing. I just didn't like the way it looked when I had it done. It wasn't the whole episode though. It was just like 10 minutes of the intro. I gotta figure out how I want to set that up. Maybe need to pick it up. Yeah, I'm gonna look for that. Cold Zero, thanks for pointing that out. I didn't even know that was a thing. Yeah, he also stopped making videos suddenly. That's how I managed to find my video. Oh, that's cool, Emma. Yeah. Right side of the wheel, white vial. Gotcha. Did Daggerfall content identical to yours? Oh, who did? Both of them? Yeah, a lot of people that watch you are probably almost Daggerfall fans from me and Metro. That's funny. Hey, what's up, you ball? Can't watch, I drive, but I listen? Yeah, good idea. Definitely just have the audio on then. All right, let's look for this little flask before we get attacked by this thing. He said right side of the wheel. Oh, man. Hold zero. How did you see that thing? That's insane. It blended in so well with like the windmill ground. And that is so cool. This means, let's run out of here. This means that the windmill is like a totally functional like quest location with beautiful cities of Daggerfall installed. That's so interesting. Which I feel like the logic follows that maybe it could be a player home. Maybe there's a small percentage chance it could show up as a player home. I have to test that. I'll make a short if it ends up being that. I don't know how you saw that, Cold Zero. That was sick. I should make a short. Cold Zero discovers impossible to see ivory steel. All right, that's cool. Wow, I was about to give up. I'm QA. I tested games for years too. It's my specialty to notice even a single pixel shade. That's sick, Cold Zero. Wow. Yeah, I am pretty confident I would have never seen that, honestly. When you first told me, I was looking around like, I don't see anything. That's crazy. All right, that's cool to know that the Thieves Guild, or any quest, I guess, could send you there. Have you guys ever seen that? Have you ever been sent to a windmill? If you have Beautiful Cities of Daggerfall installed? The poll's 100% yes. All right, thanks for voting, guys. That's cool. I think it'd be fun, yeah. Maybe we'll just do that then. I'll do a poll on the channel as well. Some point, like later in the week, maybe. Ever been sent to a windmill? Yeah, that's definitely the first time I've been. I would have remembered if I was, because I actually really like the windmills in this game. I had to meet a member in a windmill to get it in. Yo, what's up, Void Ghost? Interesting. It was rigged. Yeah, it's pretty fast to get through Thieves Guild quest stuff. It's got to be the fastest faction, right? Dessa, what are you doing here? I don't know how you could botch such a simple job. If you don't get yourself in that blasted ivory of town, we're all going to end up in the slammer or worse. I don't damn your skin. But the Thieves Guild has a reputation to uphold, and we promised our client that item. Get over to Crossborough and meet you in the Mooresley residence there. Don't screw up again. Oh yeah, I have to take this to someone else, not back to him. Okay. So that kind of slows down the quest then. Now that we got it, we're actually supposed to go somewhere else with it. My burglary did not go smoothly. Told me to get out of town with the ivory. I am to deliver it to Alabaster Buckingfield, who will meet me in the Mooresley residence in Crossborough. Okay. Let's head over there. Yeah, that's super far. I guess if you're not fast traveling, then yeah, this would take some time for sure. That means, though, like, I actually think that you could get a player home in a windmill then. It must be part of the pool of, like, randomized residential spaces. If there's a bank here, we'll check that out as well. There probably is a bank here. I still have yet to do a guild. I just wander around... I just wander regions looking for interesting scenery, like the mountain in Tagonis or the one on the main Balfiera Island. Yeah, that's totally valid, Void. That is one of the coolest parts about Daggerfall. This game is still somehow extremely satisfying, even if you don't tackle any of like the set quest designs or narrative stuff. In some ways, it's better actually not to for some playthroughs. All right, something here has to be a bank. Let's ask someone actually. All this for 119 gold? Yeah. Do you feel like there's a good reason not to just fast travel anymore, given all the mods that elaborate on the world now? Yeah, I guess it kind of depends on my playthrough for me personally. And what I do is sometimes a little bit different on stream. If I'm doing like a thief playthrough like this, I what's it called? I don't want the episodes to go on for too long. I kind of learned my lesson with the pirate playthrough. With that taking over 6 months, I kind of felt bad. One, because it's just, you know, it's such a long journey, and I don't get time to do other concepts, other playthroughs. So yeah, for that reason, I don't always want to fast travel. So that's kind of like a meta reason, something outside the game that prevents me from just always real-time traveling, and instead fast traveling. Did she mark this on my map yet? No, she didn't. All right, she put it on the map now? Yeah, so for certain playthroughs, I think it's okay. Like with the Druid playthrough, being stuck to one specific region, the real-time traveling doesn't take so long. But with the pirate playthrough, you know, going across the entire map sometimes, for like the first 10 episodes, I never fast traveled, I think. And yeah, 6 months it ended up being, which was just crazy. Part of that, though, is also my fault because I didn't always record an episode every week. But, yeah. But yeah, it's just going to kind of depend on your vibe, the playthrough, if you're in the mood to do it. But yeah, it does take a long time for sure. Even with travel options, it still takes a long time. In general, I like doing a mix of both. And reputation, yeah, that's kind of what we need the most. All right, let's just quickly check the bank. If we buy a house, you know what I mean? Like, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, we see all these houses here. These are mostly randomized in towns. And if the quests can trigger a windmill, then why not the banks if it's counted as a residential space? But it would probably be a super low chance, right? Because there's only... If you look at like a town like this, there might be... Like, how many buildings do you think are in this town that are residential houses? Like around 100-ish, maybe? 70-ish? And then you get only, like, what? There's like 2 windmills, maybe? So the percent chance would be super low. Have you guys ever noticed that in a playthrough where you get offered a player home with a windmill? Let me know. 669,000 gold? Yeah, it's absolutely insane. Gonna need a loan for sure. Yeah, this character will never afford a house with, through legal means, I should say. Although, I did give this character a house in the beginning, just so we have a place to put our steel list collection. But that's kind of like an outside role-playing reason. Levitate and check if there's any windmills. Yeah, there should be. Maybe not in this town, actually. Yeah, this town doesn't have one, it looks like. But usually there's like 1 or 2, right, in a city. So if the city had 1 or 2, that would still be such a low chance, right? So it's kind of interesting. These days getting a house with the sweat of your brow is hard in real life too. Yeah, absolutely. Might even be harder than it is in Daggerfall. Even with these ridiculous prices. Alright, we're supposed to go to the Moorsley residence. Okay, let's head back into the town then. Alright, let's ask him general. We need this place. Right here, you can see Moorsley residence on your map. Thank you very much. Alright. It's right by the tavern there, okay. Might be able to buy one, that'd be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Lived in a windmill and Outward. That's a good game. Yeah, Outward is a cool one too. I've been recommended that one a lot by people. Yeah, I'm curious about that one. If I could do dungeon delving in real life, I'd wager I'd have an easier time buying property. You might be right, honestly. Or I get killed. Yeah, one of the two. Do the windmill have an NPC living in it? If so, like real estate may allow you to purchase it directly from the owner. Oh, interesting, Base Beans. I didn't think about that. There is always an NPC in there. Yeah, it's the same one in all the windmills. So, you're right. I guess it could technically be occupied, right? Oh, I didn't think about that. That mod actually could potentially work. I'm waiting for like a big housing overhaul mod from some ambitious mod author that wants to try and tackle it. I can just like flag any house as my home. All right, let's see if we get ambushed here. Trying to hand off the stuff. Well, but isn't Dessa Springbrook the inept cat burglar? Wow, I kind of botched the quest, huh? At least you managed to get through with the items. Says something about your brawn, if not your brains. You didn't actually expect to still get paid, did you? Wow. That's so funny. So I guess when you do these Thieves Guild quests, they don't want you to fight anything, right? You're supposed to steal it and get out without killing something. All right, I think we learned how this is supposed to work now. It's kind of like Oblivion, but weird like Morrowind's co-op. Maybe not as weird as Morrowind. Gotcha. Yeah, I've heard it is pretty weird and interesting. I like the whole backpack concept, right? You gotta take it off to fight and stuff, and all your goods are stored in that. It's kind of a fun idea. Wow, they didn't even pay you? Yeah, that's crazy. it's kind of coming back to me. I did like a 4-episode playthrough on the Thief. So I did do some Thieves quests, Thieves Guild quests. So I'm kind of remembering how it works. When they want you to steal something, the way it works is if you cause a fight, then you'll get that like text pop-up that I got, and then it changes where you have to go. Then you have to bring it somewhere else. And then, yeah, I guess you don't get paid. That's pretty funny. I didn't realize that, though. All right, so now we know we actually do have to be stealthy. Which is curious. I kind of want to see... We'll see how badly that affects our reputation, actually. I'm pretty sure Iliac Bay Real Estate either allows you to make any homeowner an offer or it adds a chance for them to ask if you want to buy it. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've tried that mod out before. That's interesting. I wonder if the prices are still like over 500,000. Probably, right? Listen, as we got one of our families in trouble, you got a couple days to help out one of the family? Of course. Goodwood Elf, one of our best cat burglars in the Devil's Rascal Tavern, is holed up in a rat trap called the Crystal Debtor. On her person is a hot stone that she lifted from the palace. Now the word is that someone saw it on her, and the guards are casing the place. I have respect for the owner of the Crystal Debtor. They're waiting 5 days before moving in. Get over to the Crystal Debtor and give Carolissa Greencroft this hunk of brass in exchange for the malachite, and then you bring it back here, you understand? Good, now hurry, there ain't time. Gotcha, boss. Let's do it. Listen, if you kill people, there's less people to rob. Also, Dark Brotherhood might object if you intrude into their territory. That's true. Speaking of which, I've killed enough that they might contact me soon. I actually like rarely touched Dark Brotherhood content in Daggerfall. I think because that's another guild with no real capstone quest, right? Or there might be like one, maybe. Not like a proper capstone quest, but only happens when you're rank 9 or 10, maybe. I'm not actually sure. I think there is also a slight overhaul. It's not like a huge thing for the Dark Brotherhood, but I think there is a quest one. I think at this point, maybe every guild has at least one like semi-capstone quest mod for them. The Thieves Guild one, I like how they pulled from the actual lore. So that's kind of exciting for me when we get there. Yeah, that was such a clever idea. I can't think of the mod author at the moment, sorry. But yeah, they took a real part of Elder Scrolls lore where Queen Berezia's crown was stolen, but the actual official Elder Scrolls lore never tells you the name of the person, and so they gave the quest to you, the player. It's a cool concept. As if we're part of Elder Scrolls history and we were the ones that stole it during the Daggerfall era. Alright, so now they want us to go... Hot Stone. I think I remember how these quests function. I think we do get attacked in here. We're gonna get, like, ambushed. These guild and Crossroads sent me to the Devil's Rascal Tavern. This is probably like a very small tavern town. That's pretty far away as well. Alright. We'll do some fast traveling like this. When it's closer, we'll do real-time traveling. This is kind of a large region, so... I do love seeing these small towns, though, because the topography is really cool with World of Daggerfall project. Oh, actually, this is not that. This is actually beautiful villages of Daggerfall, I think. But yeah, the temple towns are sometimes on like hills. You get interesting looks here. And because I don't spend as much time in villages, there's still some I've not really seen. I get some unique iterations sometimes that I haven't seen before. Still, which is crazy. I think there's only one tavern here, right? Yeah, probably. Yeah, it has to be here. Alright, this is looking a little suspicious. There she is. You're a lifesaver. Turns out someone saw me with the malachite and they figure it's the stolen gem. This hunk of brass will be my ticket out of here. Remind me to buy you a drink sometime. Now hurry back to Gondorian Woodstone. They're going to be real suspicious if you're not back in 5 days. Gotcha. Yeah, it is kind of funny that the Thieves Guild, I don't think there's a single vanilla quest that brings you into a dungeon. They're all kind of like this. Steal something, help someone out from the guild that got in trouble. Yeah, I think that's basically most of them. I know that when you get further in the faction, there's some other types that always show up. That's for all the guilds, it works that way. But I didn't get that far in the Thieves Guild on my actual playthrough on the channel, so I'm not really sure what those look like. There's no Blades Guild in Daggerfall since you're part of the Blades. Gotcha. And you meet with other agents for the story. That's it. Oh, okay, that does make sense then. That's kind of funny. Do all the other games have it then? I think they do, right? Such like an iconic guild in the Elder Scrolls lore. Or at least the mainline games, I should say. Thieves Guild and Crossbow. So do I just go back to him now with the gold here? I think that's right? I'm supposed to exchange it? Yeah, and then I have to go back, I think. So all the way back to Crossbow. That's pretty far, right? Let's check that on the map. Is that far? Oh, that's not too bad at all. Never mind. I don't know why I thought that was so far. You'd think skulking through a dungeon would be a pretty good use of Arsenius talents. Low risk, high reward compared to, say, a warrior. Yeah, I think there was some design space, too, where they could have thought about how to design a thief quest for a dungeon. There's definitely some cool design space that they didn't consider, maybe, or they didn't know how they wanted to design it. But, yeah. I mean, I feel like there could definitely be some cool ideas. And even the mod author for Berenzia's Crown is going to have us go into a dungeon at the end of the Thieves Guild to steal the crown. And they used a palace dungeon, which the vanilla, game, the Bethesda team could have designed one like that. There's a couple palace dungeons, or castle dungeons, I guess, that are actually built into the castles themselves, right? And you definitely could do that for those. It would make a lot of sense. It would be entered from the actual city, which is cool, rather than like some wilderness dungeon. Little roadside defensive. Ooh, the guard calls us over. I would love a mod that adds the Blades as a guild. I know it conflicts with the main quest, but I feel like most people ignore the main quest. I certainly do with a mod that disables entirely. Yeah, me too. I've not done the main quest in over a year, and I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. We're not going to do his quest here. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever go back to the main quest. Maybe someday for fun on the channel. But for myself, I definitely would not do it on my own. Maybe a fragile item that needs to be extracted and will break if too much combat. Yeah, something like that would be sick, actually. That's like the perfect idea, right? Maybe you get like 5 encounters, or every encounter there's a small chance it'll break, and you got to get it back in a certain amount of time. Or when you have it on you, you get, hunted by someone that's part of like a rival thieves guild. That could be cool too. And if you rest at taverns, they wake up and try to grab you or something, or attack you. Oblivion has you join them for the main quest. Don't know about Skyrim. And in Morrowind, your first main quest giver is a Blaze agent. Gotcha. The Blades are on Skyrim? Yeah. I feel like I remember that. If not the Blades, some kind of faction backed by the Empire itself. Yeah, it could be cool. Yeah, actually, some of the nightly orders are just not represented at all in Daggerfall, right? I was just looking at this the other day because I was trying to build something for Eichelon. This is the region where our Druid playthrough is going to take place. And Mara. Yeah, the Marin Temple is a faction, but I think the Marin Knights are a knightly order that's not represented in Daggerfall, if I remember correctly. Which is kind of weird, because this region's all about Mara. I think every single temple here is dedicated to Mara. Yeah. It's kind of weird. If my choice was between stealing and braving lungless skeletons screaming at me, I would steal too. I think it's neat that these guild quests did not take place in dungeons. Yeah, I see what they were going for. Oh wow, this is super laggy. Let's give this a second to relax. Yeah, see right here, this is some kind of bug in my mod list, I think. As you can see, oh, it's actually a good example. See how like the animated water is running underneath what looks like Iliac Puddle No More, although I don't actually have that mod enabled. But this kind of like coastal waves, I only remember seeing it from Iliac Puddle No More. And the actual waves from Animated Water, you could see it's like pushing above this every now and then. Like right here. It's overlapping it. And this bug, I think, is causing me to lag sometimes when I come into watery areas. It's very interesting. It makes sense, though, because I've been doing so much random stuff with my mod lists for videos and stuff, so... I like these guild ideas a lot. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I gotta say. I like the weird apoliticism of the blades. The fact that typically they almost don't care about what you do, but the Emperor sees far, probably even beyond the Empire itself. So it goes beyond mere intelligence gathering, something mystical. Yeah, it's a very cool concept, I gotta say. Yeah, I kind of want to spend some more time looking into like Elder Scrolls lore, so I'm more aware of that kind of stuff. Yeah, and you can see here, see how the water completely changed? Those like close waves don't happen anymore. It's very... I definitely got something weird going on. But yeah, that is very cool. I do kind of want to be more aware of like Elder Scrolls lore so I can appreciate that stuff a little bit better. And I think I will be once I start the Morrowind playthrough, because yeah, that's going to be an opportunity to kind of slow it down, read more of the narrative. That stuff's just not as present in Daggerfall. It's not as much of a focus. Although I do think the main story of Daggerfall is pretty cool. Especially if you watch like a video where someone does a good job of explaining it all to you, the details, it is pretty cool still. But I know Morrowind's got some great quest design, some cool lore stuff, so that'll be cool for me. I'm so scared of my mod list. I have over 120. I think I'm almost done. Yeah. My mod list actually used to be very stable, but then I just started... Whenever I would do the mod showcase videos, I would add some, remove others, add some, remove others. I did this like, you know, for 100+ different videos. And I still have not done like a proper cleaning since then. So when I start up some of these, you know, files, they've had so many different iterations of different mod lists for the same character. So yeah, definitely not recommended to do like, you know, too much of that in a single playthrough. But Daggerfall Unity is surprisingly stable. Even if you screw around like that a little bit, it tends to find a way to work, which is cool. A mod list is never done. Yeah, well said. That's what I appreciate about the Stalker community, trying to balance hundreds of mods in one pack without blowing something up. Yeah, it's pretty sick. I should note that's my view on it, but the Elder Scrolls contradicts itself deliberately. I can't believe that Tiber Septim's purview starts and ends at Statecraft. Yeah, it's a little bit above my like Elder Scrolls knowledge, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't like my lore knowledge to have like a educated idea on that. It does make sense, though. After reading what you're saying, like I feel like it does make sense to me, too. Morrowind was where the lore is prevalent in the series? Yeah. Yeah, it'll be cool for me. I didn't really care too much about it in Skyrim, either, when I was playing. Also, seconding Morrowind for lore, it's the best in the series easily. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited. I was so excited about it, I just reinstalled it, and now I think we might just go for it on this Saturday. We'll just start straight from new game. I won't even prep the file. We'll build the character together, guys, and then you guys can give me, of course, whatever tips you want. Feel free to backseat game if you want. I don't mind. I might not take every suggestion, of course, as I'm playing, but yeah, that stuff doesn't bother me. It's all fun. But yeah, we could do that together. I'll probably make a pretty suboptimal build, but that's okay. You'll love the Vivek City in Morrowind. Interesting. Yeah, I don't even know the name. Still confuses me after hundreds of hours of play. I'll happily jump in for that. Awesome. When do you think you'll stream on Saturday? I think it's going to be 12 p.m. Eastern. I've been keeping that schedule for the weekend streams. It seems to work out pretty well. It's pretty good for NA. It's a little early for West Coast NA, I guess. But I usually go longer on Saturdays, so I'll go like 4 or 5 hours, maybe even longer with Morrowind if we're feeling it. And then it's also good for Europe, the Europe crowd, because it's a little late for them there, but not too late on a Saturday, like 7 or 8. So yeah, it should be 12 p.m. Eastern. I'll also make a post on my Discord again, which I'll post so there's some new people here in the chat, maybe. Yeah, I always update the Discord whenever I'm about to go live. I also post my mod list stuff there. It's also where you can ask me questions if you need help with like a mod and maybe someone in the community, or I could help as well. if you have issues with something. But yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday and Sundays, I'm trying to stay consistent with. But yeah, we're getting close to this quest thing here. I think we might actually end the stream here because we got Gamescom starting really soon. I don't know if my stream could compete with that anyway. No, but I actually want to watch some of it myself. I'm just kind of curious. I like to at least see the opening day. See if they do anything, you know, cool. Any surprises that I might be interested in would be nice. Is this my corpse? Whoa, check out how weird this is. Yeah, I got the, if you trigger, this is so funny looking. Yeah, the reason the character is also very big is because of Vanilla Enhance, the way it deals with the sprites and how it interacts with Eye of the Beholder. But yeah, if you use your portrait mod and then select your Eye of the Beholder mod, you get this little interaction here, and I can see you guys. I can run away here all the way in the distance. But yeah, the reason he's a little bit larger, I think, is Vanilla Enhance. I think that's what Red Rorio the Glen told me a long time ago. But yeah, it's because of the little portrait mod here. And you see, this might be an odd comment, but I'm between Daggerfall with mods or Crimson Desert. Not sure who's better for me. Yeah, and you see, I think they're both kind of like sandboxes a little bit, right? So I think they're both cool games. You can't go wrong, really. Yeah, it's kind of hilarious. Excited to play when I'm done playing Nexus mods? Yeah, for sure. All right, guys, I think we'll end the stream here. Thanks as always for watching, guys. I always appreciate all of you hanging out with me. I've been really loving the streams lately. I think I'm also almost done. I'm probably halfway done with the new video, and that one might come out like Wednesday or Thursday. I'll probably also stream tomorrow, but it might actually be at night because I'm doing something in the day, and then I don't really have to work too much tomorrow, just a few hours. So I might try and get a night stream in, which could be fun. Yeah, but I'll update my Discord to let you guys know on the exact time. And yeah, I'm going to watch Gamescom now. Maybe I'll talk about in the Discord general chat as something cool releases. But yeah, take care, guys. Thanks again.